welcome to Turn Your Microphone On, Michael, so that everybody on Twitch can hear what you're saying. It is necessary. It's called communication, guys. That is when people can't hear what you say, they have no idea that you just welcome them to your Twitch stream. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to Proficiency Bonus. My name is Michael, your dungeon master for this evening, and I'm just glad that you guys are here to hang out with us as we embark on episode 52 of Storm King's Thunder, right here, Proficiency Bonus. So welcome. I just wanted to get a few announcements out of the way really quick. We want to thank Team MZ, Twitch, Streamlabs, Many-Sided Dice, and all of our partners and sponsors. We also want to throw a big shout out to our newest sponsor, Dice Bard, who has some incredible dice and some incredible merchandise for Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games. So make sure you go check out Dice Bard. You can use the coupon code PROBO to get free expedited shipping. Oh man, we got purple hearts being blasted all through the chat. This is great. Hopefully they can forgive me for my microphone miscues at the beginning. I apologize. I'm slightly embarrassed. But I wanted you guys to check out, I got these awesome purple, speaking of purple hearts, I got these awesome purple sparkly dice from Dice Bard, and they are pretty amazing. Ooh. So these are what I'm going to be rolling against our heroes tonight with. So there's some really cool dice. So make sure you check out Dice Bard. They got some really awesome stuff. Also wanted to make sure you guys are checking in with all of our other shows. We got Tomb of Annihilation on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesday nights, we got the new Hell or High Waterdeep show that has kicked off a couple weeks ago. That is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We also have Mystic Hour, which is our talk show that's hosted by Christy Mysticwater herself on Thursday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, 5:30 Pacific. And we also have, obviously, you're watching it now, Storm King's Thunder on Friday nights at 8 p.m. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out our programming. Quick announcement as regards to programming. We have a new show coming up very soon. In just a couple of weeks, we are going to premiere the Delve and Dash, which is a very quick 1 hour D&D stream. That is going to happen right before Mystic Hour. We've got the cast all set, and we've got some characters all put together, and in a couple of weeks we're going to unveil that. Might have a couple, Delve and Dash. Stumpy from chat, the Stumpy from chat is actually one of our cast members for this. Hey! So make sure you guys throw out a big shout out to Stumpy from chat. If is iPyrite in the chat yet?
Yes, he's there too.
Oh yeah, we got Derek iPyrite from chat. He's going to be in it as well. So we've got some really cool cast members. We've got some really good ideas, and it's going to be really exciting. So without further ado, I will go ahead. We'll go back over to the screen to let you guys see all of our wonderful cast members for tonight. If everybody wants to wave and say hello to everybody.
Hi, baby.
We're going to get ready and kick off tonight's episode.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were doing the wave.
I don't know. Can we get it going? See,
well, we have to organize. It's going to be me, Lachlan, you, Diana, Callista.
Okay.
Oh yeah, are we waving?
Because we're in a different order. So yeah, go ahead, Matthew. Start it off. Let's see if we can get it.
Diana.
There we go.
Yeah!
We did it!
Switch wave!
Awesome. We did it. We can call this a successful stream for the evening, everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
Would it be like a penalty if somebody starts a wave and we don't finish it or something?
Maybe not just help.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so last time that we were together, our group of adventurers made it to the Eye of the Allfather, and upon entering the main entrance, they confronted a group of savage barbarian tribal warriors. who had, speaking of communication barriers, had a difficult time communicating with the party and were a little bit spooked by Molfin's magics. Once this happened, the barbarians were sent into a rage and came after the gnomish wizard, springing the party into action against the tribal warriors. The battle ensued, and the heroes were victorious despite Ashlyn being pretty badly injured during that battle. After the battle, Molfin did try to raise the white dragon wormling, but magic was just not powerful enough to do what he wanted to do. And the party entered the main chamber of the Eye of the Allfather to see several statues holding weapons and an archway with mystical light shining from it, the runes surrounding it. They were able to determine the nature of the runes due to Diana and Molfin's knowledge of these religious symbols, but still didn't really know what the key was to be able to access it. So they split up. Callista and Diana and some of the group members taking the northern end of the hall. Molfin, Lachlan, Brock, and Harshnag taking the south end. Molfin and Lachlan able to remove a thick layer of ice on 2 doors with the grease spell. It's been the most useful spell ever in this campaign. Melted the ice away, opening the doors, only to reveal behind it a enormous remorhaz screeching out as it looked upon Molfin, Lachlan, and Harshnag. And that brings us to our story for the evening. And so the story is told. Molfin, Lachlan, you guys see peeking out of this alcove that's a little bit to the side. And for those viewers at home, this is not to scale. This is definitely not to scale. This chamber is enormous, and these maps were huge for Roll20, and it was bogging down my webcams last week and things like that. So what I decided to do is just upload an image, and we're going to do a little theater of the mind tonight. We're just going to have to do a little bit of a better job of describing distances. That's going to be the problem. So these tokens probably won't move around. They'll just be here just so you guys can see everything that's going on, and we'll just kind of describe it as it happens. So I'm gonna change the music first because this is too I don't know,
dramatic.
Yeah, and if we recall the sound of the roar.
What? That is not a pretty roar.
It's not. It's from Alien.
Of course it is.
It's the only thing.
She's on the inside. Let's not judge this creature just based on its cry.
It's not judges.
Oh my gosh. Fun fact, I spent my childhood literally watching the roofs and walls and the corners because of those jumper things that would then impregnate people with the alien. Yeah, I was terrified of those.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone looks up. Oh no, there's more.
All right, let me get the volume set to where it's not blasting my ears out here. There we go. All right, so I need everybody
to roll initiative.
to go ahead and click on your tokens and roll initiative to start off this evening.
So the story is told.
So
the story is told, and here the story ends. Select a token and press initiative.
Oh, great initiative.
Oh my god, I can't be the last one. I have a really cool thing I want to do. Dang it.
Y'all don't even know what's going on down here yet.
Yeah, well, they heard that sound. That sound was very loud. Like, even though this place is humongous, that and you guys recognize that sound.
Okay. From
what you've dealt with before. You've actually seen one of these before. Unfortunately, this one is enormous. Like, it's at least probably 2.5, almost 3 times the size of the first one that you guys stumbled upon. So basically, as that roar happens, all of you up on the northern side basically just turn and face towards the door that they had opened.
Why did you open that door?
Unfortunately, due to on my calculations, you guys up north are about 150 feet away from where
no.
Molfin and Lachlan are.
It's gonna take me 3 turns to get.
150 feet away?
150 feet.
And where's
Okay.
Harshnag? Is he in front of us?
He is standing
or-
right beside you.
Question about line of sight. It's 150 feet. Where, like, if I traveled like 60 feet or like 30 feet, like, what would I be able to see? Would I like be able to directly see them? Like, are they like in front of a hallway, or do I need to like turn a bunch of corners to find
If
them?
you move 60 feet, you would be able to see Harshnag, Lachlan, and Molfin beyond the door, but you wouldn't be able to see the remorhaz just yet because it hasn't moved out of this alcove.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Anastasius is up first.
All right.
And for those of you who don't know, JJ couldn't be with us tonight. He is working on some schoolwork, so he might not be with us for a couple of weeks. But we're gonna play Anastasius RP Light, and
That's right.
Christy's gonna help us to kind of run his character tonight. So thank you, Christy.
You're welcome. I'm very good at bards. So, since he's going to move across towards towards the door
Sure.
as far as he can go,
Yeah.
try and get line of sight on what this thing is.
Okay. The full 60 feet will basically put him to where he's like able to peek around the giant sculpture in the center.
Okay.
The giant statue, but
Okay.
he'll be able to see Lachlan, Molfin, and Harshnag, but they're still very far away, and there's no line of sight on the creature just yet.
Noted. Okay. Then I guess before if he knew that he would have he'll quickly inspire. Let me check. Yeah, he will inspire Diana
All right.
before he walks the 60 feet.
How is he inspiring Diana, Christy?
Well, since she's right beside him, he's going to kind of like reach out with his hand against her cheek and he's like, take care of them for me. And then he's going to walk across.
Nice. Excellent. So he is going to do as basically a double move is what he's going to do.
A double move. Yeah, his bonus action was to inspire, and then he will use his full movement plus dash or action to move.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to move his token just to give you an idea where he's at. He's just on the other side. Do you see where I put him?
Sure.
He's about right there.
Okay.
Obviously not that big, because he's almost as big as the 80-foot statue.
Yeah. Not really.
Not really, but that brings
That's his ego.
that brings us to Lachlan.
And I think Ashley and I are at the same number here.
Well, you are about 120 feet away from the remorhaz,
Okay.
and you can see it peering out of this alcove and looking.
It can see me.
It's looking directly at you and Molfin.
I'm like grabbing the side of Molfin's robe, being like, Gramps, run! So I'm about 120 feet from this thing. Got it. That's useful to know.
Yep.
I am going to, real quick, how far am I from the door?
Only about 20 feet.
Cool. I would like to kind of back up a little bit, go through the door, see if I can get cover behind it to use my bonus action to hide.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can do that.
And then while I'm hiding, kind of peek out with the crossbow and...
All right. So yeah, you slink back around the door. You're go ahead and roll your stealth check to hide.
Okay.
And if you
Will he get sneak attack damage?
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm aiming for.
if he succeeds with this hide, yes, he will. And actually, you disappear, and the remorhaz immediately turns its gaze to Molfin. Forgets totally about you, so you can go ahead and take your shot, and you will get your sneak attack damage with it. Yes, that will strike the remorhaz right in the face as you set back. Oh, look at that!
I'm liking it.
Let me double check. Yeah. You definitely
Badass, Lachlan.
it shakes its head back and forth. It's got these giant, almost like these cobra-like wings on the side, of its neck that's kind of spike out, and you can see these pulsating, glowing, red-hot horns on the back of it as you strike it for, wow, a lot of damage.
Yes. And then before I end my turn, I just want to turn to the rest of the party and go like,
So now you not only, everybody up north, you not only heard that awful sound, but you hear a screaming Lachlan.
Okay.
And Ashlyn, you are up next.
I'm gonna run 100 feet
Wow.
towards there.
Okay.
Oh no, that's so far away.
Yeah. So I don't know how far that would get me.
You're actually like right in between these two statues down below, the fire giant statue and the like, cloud
Okay.
giant statue. So you can see Lachlan hiding behind this door. And Molfin is roughly 50 feet ahead of you through the doors.
Okay. Can I see through the door?
You actually, from being there, you do have line of sight. You can see the head of this creature like peering out of the alcove, and you can see it's shaken off. It's got a crossbow bolt stuck in the right side of its face.
Okay. I've got a longbow.
All right.
I'm gonna shoot at it twice. So that probably won't hit.
Actually, you fire and you hit one of the pillars in the alcove, and it deflects the arrow wide.
I'm not used to monkeying this way. Okay, I'm gonna try again.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. Now, seeing that as it shakes itself free of the pain of that crossbow bolt, all of a sudden now one arrow just shoots it right in the upper part of the neck. Go ahead and roll your damage for that.
Okay.
So another 9 points of piercing damage into the remorhaz as it shrieks out in pain.
Nice shot. Thanks. And that's all I'll do. I'll
Okay.
just stand there.
All right. My hit point tracker's not working for me right here. Let's see. There we go. Boom. All right. Yeah, so 2 good shots. That brings us to the remorhaz. You, Molfin, Lachlan, you guys, and Ashlyn, you guys watch as this thing emerges out of the alcove, and all of its centipedal legs are kind of like working in tandem as it starts crawling very quickly towards the door. And then you watch as it buries its head into the rocky ground
Oh no.
and goes underneath a very large table set in the middle of the room, and its whole body submerges down into the ground.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that ruined
this way.
That brings us to Callista.
Okay, I'm gonna go 30 feet to the right and going like on a diagonal down.
Okay, yeah.
And for my action, I'm going to cast Conjure Woodland Beings, and I'm going to conjure 8 pixies.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go!
Here we go.
Because Callista has a plan!
All right,
And-
describe to us what this looks like when you do it.
So you would probably see her feline tooth, her totem, kind of start glowing like this faint, like moonlight color. And from the totem, you see around her 8 pixies slowly manifest.
Oh, nice. They're all kind of like glowing and glimmering all around you. Very
like
cool.
moonlight color.
And
Yeah.
they can move this action and do their stuff, right?
They can.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell them all to go invisible
Okay.
and fly 30 feet up and above towards the rest of the party. So that
Okay.
should get them another 30 feet ahead of me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell them to hold their action until this thing comes for them.
Okay. Excellent. Perfect. Is that everything Callista's going to do?
That is my turn.
All right.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm kind of just like staying maybe closer to the wall if I
Okay.
can.
Okay. Yeah, basically you're kind of right below this statue in the top right-hand corner.
Okay, then I will like kind of stay up. I guess I would press myself against the statue so I'm not seen.
Okay.
If I can use it as cover.
Yeah, perfect. And Molfin, as it becomes your turn, you just watch this thing kind of like coming at you, and then just like a shark fin disappears under the water, this creature disappeared into the ground.
You're
Muted.
muted.
What else is new? Wouldn't be a promo thing without me
Cast
being
silence
muted at least
on
once. Is there anywhere that I can see around me that, like, are there any pillars or anything space above the ground that I would be able to sort of perch on up in the air?
Go ahead and make a perception check. I'll give you a free perception check on this one.
Oh, okay.
As you're like frantically looking around.
It's like, oh, that's not good. Get off ground. Get off the ground.
The best thing that you can see are these very large tables, but they're giant sized. So you can get up there, but it'd take your whole entire movement probably to get up on the closest table.
And when this thing crawled under it, how tall was it in relation to the table?
How tall was the creature?
The remorhaz, yeah. Like, was its head over the table?
Oh yeah. This creature, if it stood all the way up, it'd be a little bit taller than Harshnag.
Oh.
Great.
Yeah.
This is fine.
This is fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Harshnag's only about like
He's like
20 feet tall, right?
20 to 22 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Molfin's gonna look over at Harshnag, move a couple of steps closer to him, and say, "I'm sorry, old chap, but I will be right up to join you," and then cast Misty Step to prop myself up on his shoulder.
Oh right, perfect. So yeah, you vanish and then appear right on the side of his shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, hey!"
I feel we may have a better shot at this together. And as that is a bonus action, I'm going to hold an action to cast a cantrip
Okay.
for as soon as the remorhaz pops back up.
Gotcha. Make sure you keep track of your and you too, Christy, keep track of your.
Yep.
If you could help me keep track of those held actions. It becomes Harshnag's turn, and Harshnag is looking around, and as you do this, and he's talking to you just for that brief moment, Molfin, you see him kind of have this realization. He's looking around the room, and he points and he says, "Look!" And as you look across the room, on the far southern table, you can see leaned against it is a very large great axe.
There's the key.
Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah.
It might be. What should I do? Should we go for it?
Let's. We can take this creature if it decides to appear again.
I like you. And he gets up and he starts running, and he actually does one of those things where he jumps, and as he keeps running, he's running across the table. And,
Oh, God.
and he jumps off of the table beyond. Let's see how far he can go. He'd be like 10, 20, 30. He actually makes it about to right. He's probably like at the center of that token. He's probably about right in there with you on him with his double move. So it's going to take him probably 2 to 3 rounds to get
So
there.
the item's like over here.
It's leaning up against
Okay.
that far southern table.
Okay.
And that basically expends all his turn. So Diana, you're up, and you're feeling you're feeling mighty inspired.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Oh no, I stopped planning and I started looking at spells. Let's see. I will run forward. Do I see the creature now? Do I see, like, if I run, like, how many feet? Like 60, 30?
Right now, nobody can see the creature because it went under the ground.
I will run.
The only real way to get line of sight on this creature would be to go in the hole it made and tail it.
Is it running? I wouldn't know if it's running away or anything like that. I would assume that it's probably going to the ground to, like, bounce back up. You know what I mean? I will. will I do? What will I do? I
I forgot
need to touch Ashlyn, I think, but she ran really far ahead. I was gonna cure her wounds.
Oh.
So I'll run up I'll run up 30 feet, and will I be near enough to Ashlyn to where I can I'm within 60 feet of her, or no?
She ran 100 feet. You'd probably be you'd be probably just barely in range.
Oh no, wait. Oh no, wait, but I would use my bonus action to wait, so if I dash, that's using my movement plus my action. Do I still have a bonus action?
You still have bonus action, yes. Mm-hmm.
Alright, then I will run those 60 feet, and that should be within a 60-foot range of her, right?
Yep, you're basically standing right next to Anastasius.
Okay, then I will cast Shield of Faith on her, and she gains 2 points to her armor because she's kind of low on hit points, and I'm scared.
Well, good. Yeah, you definitely feel this aura of protection surround you, Ashlyn, as Diana calls upon Ilmater to help you out in this difficult situation. I apologize. I didn't roll initiative for Brock, so
I was just gonna remind you. Actually,
I'm gonna put him at the bottom of the order. So just remind me to have Brock go. Basically, as he saw this creature, you watch as he takes his short sword, and he looks flustered. He still looks a little injured. He looks frustrated. He takes the short sword, he sheathes it, and he says, "Wait a second. This is not what you guys said was going to happen. We were going to see an oracle. Not any of this. Nope. No. I'm done." And he turns around and he starts walking, towards the exit.
Brock.
Oh my god.
Safety numbers?
And that brings us.
Can I use my reaction to just light my hands on fire towards him?
Sure. Make an intimidation check.
Sure.
I wanna have a reaction to just go, no, go, run. Run away from these people that are trying to kill you.
He's gonna be like that one person that leaves the party in the horror movie, and he's gonna die.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Jesus.
yes!
He's he looks over towards Callista as he's starting to walk away, and he's like,
Get behind me.
"Okay." and he pulls out a hand crossbow, and he pulls a crossbow bolt in it, and that won his turn. That'll bring us to Anastasius.
He has a
I
way with
was
his
not
arm.
expecting that.
Heck, I'm
Holy crap.
scared of you.
His bones are made of glass, and his skin is made of paper. He's gonna die here.
What's Anastasius gonna do for us, Christy?
Okay. He is going to go a little bit closer. Could he get to the other side of the statue? Could he get over here?
It would.
Or would that be his full move? That would be
It would take a dash to do it. Yeah. Basically, if he keeps going the direction he's going to, he can make it probably to the other side of the base of the statue with 30 feet, and basically almost up to where Ashlyn is if he dashed.
No, I think he's gonna stay where he is. Maybe get up closer where I am against the statue to get cover as well, and kind of just peek around and hold his action.
Perfect. Yep, he can do that.
Until he sees something going for the party.
Something going for the party? Excellent.
Yeah.
Ashlyn, for some reason, you and Lachlan are keep on getting flip-flopped on the initiative order, so Ashlyn, you can go ahead and go, and then we'll have Lachlan go since you rolled the same.
I guess I can't hold a movement, right?
No, it has to be an action.
Okay. So I'll hold the action until I see the remorhaz too?
Okay. Are you holding another arrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, that brings us to Lachlan.
By the gods, where did it go? Where did it go? I'm gonna try to climb the door.
You're gonna climb the door?
Yeah, the door that I'm just gonna start scrambling up and try to find something to grip onto.
Okay, make an athletics check.
Alrighty.
Could climb
Athletics, so
Statue.
Athletics. Oh, there's still some patchy ice on the door, and you're trying to grab like some of the relief carvings of the giants fighting the dragons, and you get some handholds, and then you start to slip and slide back down the door.
Crap. Was that my movement or my action?
Technically, your athletics check would be your action to climb it. So,
Okay.
you still do have. You could use a. You still got movement. You could still use your movement if you wanted to run away from the door or do something else.
Sure. I'll just like along the wall. I'll just sort of like try to inch along the wall and get further away from what's going on there.
Okay, so you're inching on the left-hand side of the wall, kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
On the left-hand side of the wall.
Gotcha. So you're just gonna slide over this way, getting away from going kind of towards the other door. As for some reason,
kind of muttering like, "You're not here, you can't see me," and turn.
Okay. As for some reason, Opera decides to shut down all my.
Yeah, I can't see you. Oh, there we go. I can see Trent. Now I can see you.
Now you can see me? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. That was weird. All right. Well, I'm hoping they all come back. If not, I'll reconnect again. All right. So that ends Lachlan's turn, and that brings us to the remorhaz.
Uh-oh.
Molfin, as Harshnag kind of hits the ground and is running along, you start to feel this rumbling from beneath. And all of a sudden, this thing bursts out like directly in front of both you and Harshnag of the ground, sending all these stones breaking apart from the floor, bouncing off of different areas, bouncing off the tables. And this thing is standing now, like just staring right at Harshnag's face, with you right there on his shoulder. But that took his entire dash to do that. So that brings us to Callista.
And before that happens,
That's going to trigger everybody's held actions.
Yeah.
Molfin's hand goes to the top of the crystal, and then reaching out in front of him with a ray of frost.
Ooh, ray of frost.
Okay.
Okay, that will strike. And as the frost kind of breaks apart on the face of this creature and starts to melt away from the heat, it doesn't look like it affected it at all.
Oh no.
And it turns its gaze right towards you, Molfin. And then immediately doing that, an arrow goes flying over its shoulder. As you hear, this thing just go flying high above it. And what were the pixies holding?
They were holding polymorph.
Okay, all of them.
Yep.
Okay.
As many as it takes.
So 8 polymorphs. Okay.
As many as it takes, and they would stop once it worked. But
What save is polymorph? Is it wisdom?
actually, I'm gonna do 4. Yeah, let's do 5 polymorphs and 3 confusions.
5 polymorphs and 3 confusions.
Yes, and polymorph. I think. Let me just double check for you. Which
I think it's a 12.
It is a
No, it's a
DC 12.
Okay. It's a wisdom.
Is it a wisdom?
I'm pretty sure it
Is
is.
it? Okay. Okay, well, it failed the first one.
Oh,
Awesome. It rolled a.
so it turns into a rat.
It turns into a rat. Fantastic. So, Molfin, as you're watching and this thing is just looking at you, all of a sudden you see it start to slowly shrink in front of you. And these little tufts of hair start to grow out from it. And then, within the span of just a few seconds, you look down, and in the rubble from the floor where it kind of burst up through, you can see that there's this little rat. Just sitting there.
And then the other one is going to cast confusion, since the other 3 or the other 4 don't need to cast polymorph anymore. The other 3 can still try and cast confusion.
Alright, is confusion wisdom as well?
I believe so.
Does it make it save as the rat? Or does it make it...
I think so.
It
Yeah,
does?
because it takes on the rat.
rat statistics?
Yeah.
Brain.
Yeah.
Nice. Let me look up the rat stats really quick. I didn't have this prepared because I had no idea this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
For once, it's not Molten.
All right, a rat.
Although the
I've
night is
had
young.
all week to think about this, Michael.
Oh yeah. Oh wow, rats are actually pretty wise. It actually succeeded its first saving throw against the first confusion, so it's going to roll again for the second, and it will fail miserably.
Okay.
So now it is polymorphed and confused.
Yep.
And is there one... Do you have... is there anything else these pixies are doing to this poor thing?
No, because that was their held action, and I was telling them
Right,
to
you can't-
go for that guy.
yeah,
so
you had
they're
a
not going
specific-
to be able to do anything else.
Yep, you're right. That's good. Fantastic. So... that being said, I think Diana, you didn't have a Anastasius had a held action. What was his held action?
Oh, right, but I don't know if he can see it because it's
Now he can't because it's a rat and it's behind Harshnag and Molfen. And,
well, his action was if it was in 120-foot range, he was going to do hypnotic pattern.
it's out of that range. It'd be more like
Okay,
150.
so then
yeah,
no.
yeah, it'd be a little bit out of that range. Cool.
No.
So Callista, that brings us to your turn.
I say, no one attack the rat. Pick it up and throw it off the cliff. And I start running towards the rat.
You guys watch this. Just Callista is just sprinting, running across the frosty covered floor towards this thing. Nobody touch it! Nobody touch it!
Don't touch it!
Just yelling.
Pick it up and throw it off the cliff.
Molfen, you're standing on Harshnag's shoulder. You can hear Callista yelling things out in the chamber. She seems very adamant about getting to that rat before anybody touches it.
Molfen's going to look at Harshnag and say, actually, before I say that, let me just make sure that this is
To be honest,
what I want to do.
I think it looked a lot better in its other form. At least it was a little bit more intimidating.
Well, let's see what we can do here. Would you be a kind sir and set me down next to the small beast?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He sets you down right next to the rat.
Would it be a free action to pick up the rat? Where it's confused and tiny?
What's status confusion do? I think they have to make a check, and if not, they do random things for confusion. Is that what that spell does?
I think so.
No idea.
Let me just double check. I will find it for you.
Okay. No, this rat.
What I do.
This rat isn't gonna want you to pick it up, so it's gonna.
It has to roll a d10.
A d10. Oh,
Yeah.
Before its turn, right? Yeah.
Is this a grapple?
Yeah,
It can't take reactions.
yeah.
It must roll d10 at the start of its turn.
Gotcha.
Determine its.
That's so cool. All right, Molfen, make an athletics or dexterity acrobatics to catch this rat, as it's going to try to contest. It's going to try to contest you.
You said athletics or acrobatics?
Yes, and you're going to need to roll really well.
Insert Benny Hill theme here.
Oh my word.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Unfortunately for you, it rolled a natural 20.
Oh no!
Oh,
If you would have rolled one better, you would have had him. But since it's a tie, there's no change. So basically, you go to reach out, and it kind of jumps out of your hand. And it's kind of like bouncing off the stones beneath your feet.
Okay, and that was action to do that.
Yeah. It seems really disoriented. It seems like it has no idea which direction to run.
And it's still right in the opening of the hole?
Yeah, it's kind of like in this piled up rubble around it to where the remorhaz forced up through and has all this piled up rubble around this hole.
Gonna use my movement to just sort of circle around it towards the opening of the hole.
Okay.
So at least if it goes to sprint and run away, it's going away from the hole rather than down and in.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Good. Good. Awesome. Anything else?
No, that'll end it.
All right. Harshnag goes, and he's like, well, seems like Callista doesn't want me to just step on it. So I'm gonna go get the axe. And he starts running. He's like, he gets another 60 feet. It looks like it's gonna take him another turn to get all the way, even kind of running across this huge room. Diana, you're gonna go next, and then I'll have Brock go after you.
Well, does that put Brock at a -1? No.
Yeah, it basically does, because I forgot to roll him.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I can do. I guess I'll just. How close is Ashlyn to me?
She is about 60 feet away from you.
Okay. Well, I can't do that then. Can I just take 30 feet closer and then hold the action?
Yeah, what are you gonna hold?
Oh, that's a good question. Fairy fire, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
Towards the remorhaz, if you see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it comes back into its shape, I will. Or actually, wait a second here. What's this one do? What's that one do? No, it's concentration. I have concentration on the thing. So I'll just wait on fairy fire.
Okay.
Which will drop Ashlyn's shield of faith, but we'll also have advantage on attacks. So.
Okay. Got you. Brock, seeing Callista running towards everybody, screaming out, and you just told him to get behind you, so he's like, you want me to run behind you too?
Just sure.
He looks at you and he's like, I got you. And he starts moving over towards you to kind of like get in this formation behind you, and he's got his hand crossbow ready in his one hand, and he's just like looking back and forth. He still has a little bit of like marks from the battle before. He's still bleeding a little bit because he's not fully healed. He just got Diana saved his life twice. And that brings us to Anastasius.
Who saved my life?
Yeah.
All right. He is also going to move forward with me.
How long? Polymorph just lasts until it takes damage, right?
Yep.
Okay, so no one's planning on attacking the rat, right?
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna take us out of it.
kidding.
I'm just gonna take us out of initiative order because it's gonna take forever if we keep doing it this way. So I'm gonna remove all those turns off of the initiative order because basically you've reduced the giant remorhaz to a confused rat
That no one can pick up.
that is just like bouncing around that no one can pick up.
A 375-year-old gnome couldn't pick him up. That doesn't mean, you know.
I can try to pick him up.
All right. So yeah, you are now. Callista is running into this giant room, and as you guys enter and start to get a look around, this looks like to be some type of feasting hall. There are these large slab-looking tables that are spread out all around this large. It's like a 400-foot room. It's enormous. Huge vaulted ceiling with an alcove in the front that could have been used as kind of like a place where entertainment could be provided. In the center, there is a large fire that is burning. It's burning in between these stones, and it almost looks like it might be some kind of natural gas kind of related fire that's seeping through these stones, and it keeps the fire lit in the center. And Harshnag, you watch as he's heading towards the end, and he's approached this enormous great axe in the south end.
One
of
of the pixies is going to cast sleep on the rat.
Okay. You said it's a 12 to make the save?
Well, I think
Sleep
I
is
have
hit
to
point
roll.
related.
Yeah.
Sleep is hit point
it's hit point related. That's right. So it just goes to sleep.
Okay.
Because they only have like 7 HP, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Actually,
I will
a
pick
regular
up the
rat has
then.
less. Yeah, it only has 1 hit point.
Okay, then I will pick up the rat.
Yeah, you're holding on to this limp rat that's just like hanging there and in your hands.
Do you want me to run it off the cliff? I can like run really fast, so I can like go and run.
Yeah,
and
can we
throw it off
find-
the cliff.
Because like when we entered, we were on like a steep cliff face, right?
Huge cliff face. Yeah.
Good. Yes,
Yes.
I will hand the rat.
Put it in
to
the bag of
Ashlyn.
holding.
No, because I don't know what's gonna happen when it like suffocates and then it just explodes. I don't know how that's gonna work. So let's just throw it off the cliff.
Okay.
Seems safe.
It seems
Ashlyn,
safer.
Ashlyn, you seem to be a little worse for wear. Are you sure you can handle this?
I can run.
What if there are problems out there
Out where?
on the cliff face
Like what?
in the hallway?
Didn't we
That's what
kill
we're
them all?
asking.
That's Diana's healing her for a little bit.
Yeah, I assume since we're at turn order, I can just run up to her and be like, "This is what I was trying to do." There you go.
Thank you.
Technically, if you guys wanted to, you could use this as a short rest as well. If you wanted to
Yeah.
hang out for 30 minutes and use hit dice to get some of your
Well, I
HP
want her to
back.
get rid of the rat
Close
first.
to
Okay,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Let's get rid of the rat first.
Get rid of the
before
rat
we
first.
drop.
Yeah.
Yes.
After
run.
Diana touches her, how does she look? Does Ashlyn still look a little rough?
Ashlyn's still a little rough
Mm.
around the edges.
Wolfen's gonna look out and say, "Let's try this on for size." And you watch as the gem on the top of his staff starts to glow with this strange, almost smoky black energy. As he reaches out towards you, Ashlyn, energy from the crystal slams into Molfin's chest,
Okay.
and there's a strange sort of green
Oh wow.
blood pulls out of Molfin's body and enters it and starts to flow into yours.
Whoa.
You are healed for 32 hit points.
Whoa.
That
I
takes
should
me
just
up
die
already.
and reroll a character. Damn.
As you watch as Molfin collapses to one knee on the ground, breathing heavily.
Oh my god.
Uncle Muffin, are you okay? I feel great, but are you okay?
Took a bit more out of me than I had anticipated.
Anastasius will put a hand on Muffin's shoulder and.
Oh.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go throw this rat off the cliff.
Okay.
Something you don't hear every day. And Ashlyn.
I'm gonna jog behind Ashlyn a
Just
little
like-
bit.
Okay.
I can't keep up with her, but just so we kind of have someone in the middle.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
Ashlyn's or Lachlan's gonna keep an eye on Ashlyn just to make sure everything's good. So Ashlyn heads off to the main entryway. As you start to go down the steps, these large, giant steps, you notice something just completely strange, Ashlyn.
Uh-oh.
You have no idea where this came from because it wasn't here a little while ago. But there is
Oh, no.
an enormous fruit tree in the middle of the hallway.
Oh no.
A little bit away, just a hair away from where the grease fire was. There's this enormous tree that is just sprouted up in the middle of the hallway, and there's all this interesting, just interesting fruit hanging from it.
Okay. I wait for Lachlan, who I assume I heard. Lachlan,
Ashlyn, you're fast.
there's a fruit tree.
Oh, there is.
Can you watch the fruit tree while I go throw this rat off the cliff?
Sure.
Okay. I go throw
You
the
think,
rat.
you think it's safe to eat?
Yeah, go try one, and I'll come
Oh,
back and I'll try one too.
Okay.
I'll try one with you. You wait. You pick which one.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go throw the rat off the cliff, and I'll come back to Lachlan.
All right, so yeah, you disappear. Is Lachlan picking some fruit?
Yeah. Is it all the same looking kind of fruit, or are they all different?
It's kind of odd. They're all different. You see some apples, oranges, bananas, just all kinds of different fruits.
Oh God, bananas.
Yeah, it's strange. Like, and they're all in the same tree.
Okay.
Definitely feeling a bit banana. Do I have to climb to get one, or can I just jump and get one?
If you're standing kind of on the steps, you could probably reach
Yeah.
out and grab a limb and pull one off. All
I want
right.
an orange. Can I come back after I throw the rock right off the cliff? Whee!
Yeah, you can come back after you throw the rat off the cliff.
Whee!
Whee! I like
You
that.
gotta follow the rat off the cliff. You're jumping off with him.
Yeah. So then I run back to Lockley and I'm like, okay, which one did you pick?
Banana.
I decided
I'm like-
I want an orange.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Ready for
roll
this?
me. Are you guys both eating?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a percentage dice. Okay.
God.
How do I do that?
It's
Roll a D100.
roll.
Flash
Yeah,
roll.
roll D100. Yep.
Okay.
You peel your orange like a banana, Ashlyn.
No, I'm peeling it like the pith off it.
Supreme it.
The fruit.
And I am so.
The fruit tastes very good.
Mm.
And it's real refreshing to you. It definitely helps to kind of bring back a little bit of energy. But other than being really good fruit, that's all you kind of feel right now.
Guys, there's fruit! Free
It's
fruit!
really good.
Yeah, delicious free fruit.
What?
I'm sure this is natural.
What does it seem to be growing from besides the grease fire? Like, is it the center of the fire? Like, is there anything around the roots that would?
Its roots are kind of like reaching down in between the stone of this structure. It's very strange. It almost looks like it was something was planted right on top of the floor.
Oh, I bet. Out of character, I'm gonna ask, like, did the shaman lady have a magic bean and it planted there?
You're not sure.
Okay.
And the rat is still falling.
Okay.
Yes! That worked.
At one
sounds
point,
like a
you just see
baby
the rat
crying.
sitting there with a book just going, I'm gonna hit ground eventually, man.
Yes. I'm
In a
so
village.
happy right now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, the rat is asleep right now, so it's not,
Oh, yeah.
it's dreaming.
Well, about halfway down, it wakes up and goes, ah! Ah! Ah!
Oh, it's so good.
You guys want free fruit?
What is, if you're offering
Wait,
some,
wait, where did you get this fruit?
We found it.
I found it on a tree. Here's an apple.
What? What tree?
The tree out there. Here's the banana, Uncle Muffin. Diana,
Thank
do
you.
you want an orange?
I don't think that
Can I
oranges and
go
bananas should be growing on
Examine
the same
this tree.
Yeah, you can examine it. Make an investigation check. Or if you like,
Muffins just eating
or if you
the
like,
banana.
you could
Can I
use.
do like a nature or
Yeah,
something?
you could make a nature check. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muffin's just gonna eat the banana Ashlyn handed him.
The
It's
true
really
mind of a
good.
scientist.
All right, roll a D100 for me,
Oh
Molfin.
my god. We're all gonna die.
Really?
This is how we TPK, not remorhaz a freaking tree.
Nature. You have never seen a fruit tree that grows different kind of fruit. This is definitely not a natural tree.
Can I do detect magic on it?
Absolutely, you could.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So you're casting it as a spell, or are you doing it as a ritual?
It's my innate.
Oh, it's
thing.
your innate thing.
All
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
is
yeah.
a hit dice.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Can I take that back? Because I forgot Uncle Muffin healed me.
Callista, as you are casting your spell and you're looking upon the tree, or this is your innate ability, so you're just kind of sensing the magical properties. The whole tree itself has this glow about it to the magic, and then you see kind of random fruit that grow from it are beaming brightly, and it's different kinds of magical
Magic.
sources.
Oh god. Okay. What types of magic? Is it all of them?
It's pretty much all across the board.
Can I look at what they're holding and kind of gauge what they're holding in their hands to gauge what magic they're eating?
My banana peel.
Yeah. Oh, you guys eating another one?
Okay.
Are you?
I'll eat an apple.
No. I just want to know what they're holding. I just want to know what they're holding. in their
The ones that
hands.
they're currently eating are not resonating anything that's glowing right now.
Okay.
I mean, there's a faint glow to everything. Like the
Right.
source of this tree is magical of some sort, but random fruit, it seems like, along the tree. Particularly what you can see is about 8 hanging fruits are beaming with magical energy.
What type is the closest to me?
The closest to you would be.
I want to eat one.
No, I'm
Close
not telling
to
you guys
one.
this.
Closer, tell
Callista, what
us
are you
this and let
staring
me eat
at
this.
over there?
I'm gonna find out. I'm scared.
Let me,
Come on, observation magic food can't be bad. It must give you some sort of
Necromancy.
Necromancy.
That's wolfen fruit.
Wait, no. You eat it and die. It's Snow White's apple. You fall asleep forever.
Until someone kisses you.
Oh God. You all look at Anastasia's like.
Yeah.
Well, the one closest to you, I don't know if there's like a.
Oh.
Let me double check something real quick. This will give me a better idea of what this one
Okay.
does. Where are you, you crazy spell? I know you're around here somewhere.
I'm sorry if anyone hears my little brother yelling at his games.
What game's he playing?
I want to yell at him.
What's he playing?
I have no idea. Some car game. He gets mean to people. He's 12 and I've heard him curse people out.
Oh
This-
God.
The closest one to you is a banana that is beaming with evocation magic.
Hmm.
It's a bananade.
Oh no.
Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna pick it, but I'm not gonna eat it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you have a magic banana.
Magic banana.
Hey, Ashlyn, make sure that you don't eat any seeds.
Oops.
Oops.
You ate the seeds? Oh my god, Ashlyn, you know that makes a tree grow inside your stomach, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, you're like, grow a tree. And it's gonna burst out of you like an alien. You ever seen that play?
The play? No, I
Yeah,
didn't
it's a
get
play.
out
You
one.
know the play Alien?
In the monastery, they didn't have a lot of plays, because we were monks.
Oh, there was a traveling bard group that would visit our village. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I'm just gonna tell them just to be careful with this thing because it is magical, but I don't know what it does. And I'm gonna go back over to the door
Okay.
now that Harshnag has the other.
Yeah, he's got this axe, and he's like holding it over his shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, this is a lot heavier than it looks." Oh.
Can I look like if I were to look at the door? Is it just the runes?
The whole thing seems to be resonating for your detect magic. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just looking to see like if there's any other like writing, or is it just like the runes? Like, is there like languages to read on this part or anywhere around this door?
No, it's just the runes. That's all you seem to see.
I'm gonna grab a last orange and hope it's magical.
Mulfin's gonna start heading over and just start picking.
Did MG lose internet or something? Is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
he dropped internet. He's on his way back.
Okay.
Mentioned in
Gotcha.
Discord.
What were you doing again, Molfin? Sorry.
So it seems like Ashlyn and Mulfin are heading back over to the tree.
Okay.
And after Ashlyn does her bit, Mulfin's just going to start picking the rest of the fruit on it to take with him.
Okay.
But giving Ashlyn her
Orange.
prime choice first.
Just want one more orange.
Roll a d10 for me, Matthew.
Okay. That's a 1.
You've got here now. You got 21 pieces of random fruit.
Hooray!
As you spend some time picking the fruit off of this tree. And just put a little note next to it, even though Molfin doesn't know it yet.
There's one.
Put 7 next to it.
Oh no!
As you've got 7 special pieces of fruit.
Oh no!
Because Callista has the other one.
Now, was that after Ashlyn had a chance to grab hers, or is she grabbing from the bundle that
Well,
was just plucked?
the total that you just plucked is basically all there is left on the tree. So
Okay.
you guys,
Okay, so as Molfin's picking, it's Ashlyn's call.
yeah,
Okay. I'll take one from Uncle Molfin's stash and just take an orange.
okay.
Yes. And it's delicious.
Oh, you're gonna eat it?
Yes.
Okay, roll a percentile dice.
Oh.
Okay, yeah,
Gives me.
delicious, juicy orange.
Yay.
Tastes really good.
Now I really want an orange. I
Amazing.
was drinking fresh orange juice from Whole Foods.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Callista, there's no other writing. It seems to be around this archway. It's just these runes. All seem to be still glowing with that same. What was the magic that I said that was? I think it was conjuration magic.
Conjuration, I think.
Conjuration, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
we need to put the
But
great axe.
we were able to because we were able to decipher the runes to the correlating items, right?
Yes, Diana and Molfin were able to recall what the runes meant. And here, I'll see if I can get that. I can show you guys that archway again.
I think we have it still in our journals.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
I'm looking at the archer right now. I
Yeah.
just don't know the correlation.
So I think Harshnag should stick the axe in the glowing thing.
I
Like
think
we saw.
No,
well, I think it's a
to go with
key. Like we have to do it maybe in order or a combination.
For our viewers at home, there's the archway runes that they have determined.
Do we start at the top or do we start at the bottom?
The bottom right-hand corner was the one that the ice rune was the one that he said was the frost giant rune.
Right.
You guys determined that the top left-hand, the Ald rune, was the fire giant rune. The sky rune, the cloud giants. The hog rune was the hill giant rune. Stein was the storm giant. And Uvar was the stone giant.
What's Elo? Or Ilo?
Ild. The top left was the fire giant rune.
Perhaps if we had Harshnag put the axe back in its holder, activate some sort of resonance.
Sure, let's try that.
It's said that he had to use it like a key into the portal. And that's what he had his father saw when he was little.
Perhaps this axe is a key?
Yes.
Should I...
Isn't that what you saw your father do when you were little? Put it into the portal?
I can't remember. He used it for something, but I don't know. I can try.
Okay.
So he takes the axe and he goes to the center of the archway. And much the same that happened when you guys tried to slide the fire giant sword in, it just hits the wall beyond the mist. It's...
What if you? Okay, let's try this. First, put it in the statue just to see if we're missing a key, and if that goes in, let's see if anything changes. And if that doesn't change, I have a different idea.
Oh, okay. I'll do that, Callista. This thing's getting heavy anyway. And he walks it over, and he lifts it up and sets it into Thrym's open arms.
Yeah.
And then he lets it go. And you're all standing there. Nothing seems to happen.
Okay, well, that wasn't it.
Molfin's going to look at the large, like central statue.
Okay.
Does it look like it's got like a hand open or somewhere it could grasp a weapon?
It looks like its hands are outstretched, but not in a way to hold something, more as in a way to like point somebody into, like the hands are sideways, kind of like this.
Okay,
And it's
so
just
we
like-
couldn't put anything in its hands.
You couldn't put anything in its hands.
Okay,
And this thing is massive. It's 80 foot
Right.
tall. I mean,
right.
to get up there would be, it would be very challenging.
Wolfen's going to start walking north to the other doors.
I bet I could climb the statue.
North doors are still frozen shut, right?
The northern doors are still open, or frozen shut. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Harshnag,
Oh,
you said that there's like a hierarchy.
oh yes, yes. Well, unfortunately, not anymore.
Well, what was the hierarchy before?
Oh well, let's see if I can recall. I know the storm giants were always at the top.
Right.
Yes, and slightly below the storm giants were the cloud giants. And
Okay.
right after the cloud giants, that's where the lines get blurred a bit. But I do believe that the next step was I believe it was the fire giants were next, and then frost giants almost equal to the fire giants, but just below. Then the stone giants, and then the hill giants were always at the bottom.
Okay.
They
Did Zephyros ever tell us this?
yeah, he did.
Yeah, he told us this last episode.
Well, Zephyros, whenever you guys were on the
Oh
the
yeah,
cloud
no,
tower,
Zephyr.
he
Yeah.
basically told you guys the whole deal.
I wonder
But
if
I
this
think
lines up.
Harshnag
That was
also
one.
like reminded us that there was.
Yeah. Should we
Wolfen's
try
gonna
all
walk
the?
down.
Oops, sorry.
Nope,
Go ahead. Should we try all the weapons like in order of that, or would that probably wouldn't make sense? Never mind.
Well,
I'll leave
no,
the thinking
no,
to someone else.
Ashlyn, that's a fair point.
That's a good idea.
But do we want to start at the top or do we want to start at the bottom?
Ashlyn's always thinking. She is so great.
You too, Harshnag.
What do you think, Harshnag? Should we start at the top or start at the bottom?
Harshnag not sure about that one. He just ponders
That's
and
tough.
just runs his hand through his beard. I don't seem to remember my father ever using anything different other than, and he points up to Thrym's great axe.
Okay.
But
But-
it's
And your father met the Oracle?
I'm assuming so. I don't. It's been several years. I was a young lad.
Okay, well, we can start with the storm.
Mulford's going to walk over and cast Identify on the axe.
Identify on the axe. Okay.
Yep.
An axe of knock.
Okay. So, as you cast Identify on the axe, you don't get a sense that this is you don't get a sense that this is a magical weapon per se.
Okay.
You're kind of getting the same feeling from your Identify spell that Callista got, that this is some kind of link to that archway of the same kind of magic that resonates from it. It's in essence a magical key. And it's not a magical weapon at all. But you also find out with Identify that within these keys is a little bit of a magical failsafe. That if incorrectly used,
Oh no.
it could spark something within the chamber.
Oh, crap. So we have to get the combination right the first time.
Well, why don't we do it in the order of the door?
Perhaps it is wiser to give you a few moments to examine the doorway as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around the doorway, see if I can find any clues or hints in this area. Like maybe there's
Okay. Make
And Oh, good.
Which
No.
now some of the higher runes are going to be difficult to get to. Are you just going to kind of like look at the lower runes, that kind of just get a closer look at them?
I'll ask Harshnag to lift me up if you can.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. So go ahead and make an investigation check. And what's Molfin doing while Callista's doing this?
Just going to sit down sort of right in the corner of whichever side opposite of where Callista's working and start casting Identify on the doorway.
You are you are so lucky. You are so lucky. I was thinking in my head, she's going to have to crit this. Oh, man. So you're kind of expecting the bottom right-hand rune, the ice rune. And as you're expecting it, it looks like underneath a little bit of frost and ice from the mithril inlay, it's almost like there's little scratches in it. As if something was placed up against the rune itself. Something sharp.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. We have to press these keys to the runes, I think. But
Is there more wear and tear on some of them than others?
Can I kind of like heat my hands and kind of melt it and kind of see if there's like anything under the ice?
Yeah, actually, when you heat your hands and you melt it away, you can see that from your investigation check, whatever was touching this rune, it's probably the same thing by the way the markings look. Like, it's not different marks. It's almost like it's the same thing.
So
touching in different places.
Oh. Okay.
And there look little gouges. It looks like somebody took something metal and sharp and just kind of gouged into the stone just the slightest bit.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we have to touch the runes with one of these keys, and if Harshnag were to do it, since he should take the item his father took, and...
Oh, well, that would be an honor.
But the problem is if there's a fail-safe...
Let's just do it.
I think that we should wait until tomorrow or something. 'Cause I don't have any spells. I'm gonna tell you all right now. My spells are at 0. If you guys need healing, or if you need to be revived from the dead, we're
That's
screwed.
fair.
Diana,
that's fair. I feel like
Brock is standing next to Diana, and he's like, "Yeah, I think she's right."
Okay, that's
She,
fair. We can take the evening and try and figure out.
And he kind of gets closer to Diana, and he's like, "I just wanted to say, thank you for saving my life back there. That was real kind of you."
I slap him.
Ow! Oh, you guys are always so mean in this group. And he just starts to trudge away.
Welcome to my life, Brock.
Don't get familiar.
Attracting those
Don't be
Zents
nice
again.
to any of the girls.
So every
this time.
single rune has the same scratches, the same marks.
No, they don't. Just the one you were looking at has the same marks.
What's the other ones? If I melt away.
If you're melting away, like the hill giant rune,
yeah.
Looks like it has little dents in it, and you notice that the weapon that the hill giant's holding is a large boulder.
Okay, so it is
The fire giant rune with the great sword has these it has gashes in it that you can barely tell are gashes. But they're in it as well.
So he has to take the axe to the room.
So we have to use every single key for every single rune.
No, I just think the axe to the room.
And
He only saw his father do it.
While you guys are having this conversation, Harshnag is actually back there in front of Thrym's statue, just kind of staring up in awe at the great axe in his hands. And it just looks like he's just having a moment right now.
Well, are we to spend the evening in this
We'll
chamber?
spend the evening, because I want to think about this more.
Let's batten down the doors, make sure that we're safe in here.
I think we should see what's in the top door, because it might kill us.
Good
In our
point.
sleep. Does
Could we
anyone else
seal the
care
doors
if
with
it-
ice?
Well, the doors are sealed with ice. Right?
Yeah, in the inside where you guys are, there's about 6 inches of ice that is sealing the inside of the
So
doors.
just leave it for now.
Even
the
with the
river
doors we've
has
already been
been-
through, what if someone comes in from the outside?
But the remorhaz could have dug underneath the floor and killed us all in our sleep. So I figure we should probably see what's in the doors. So
Well,
it
I know
doesn't-
there is a magical item of some sort in the north.
Okay, well, it might kill us in our sleep. That's it. Good night, everyone.
Before we
Can we
go down
sleep on
that
the
road,
statue?
perhaps. Harshnag, do you know, is the room to the north of similar design to the one from the south that we found that beast in?
You know, I don't really remember all the details, but I do remember that there was a place where giants could spend the night here. They had room chambers of some sort, but I can't remember all the details.
Let us not do anything to the doors as of yet,
Okay.
and perhaps.
But there might be giant fluffy beds in there.
Well,
That I can jump up and down on.
Harshnag kind of laughs. He's like, giants, we don't normally sleep on fluffy beds.
Oh. Okay, a
Wolfman's
giant
gonna walk over to
stone
the
bed.
door.
But that's okay, Ashlyn. And he reaches down, he kind of pats the top of your head a little bit. That's always thinking about others.
Molfin's going to walk a little ways away from the group, sort of facing one of the... It's the same setup where there are two doors.
Yeah, it's basically a same exact look as the lower doors were.
I'm going to look around, make sure that I'm at least a good... 15... good 15 feet away from each one of the statues and 15 feet away from the door.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go find out what's on the other side, shall we?
Okay.
Lachlan, would you care to take a trip with me?
Sure.
And Molfin will hold out his hand to Lachlan. And let us hope we do not end up in a wall. And
Wait,
Molfin is
what?
going to cast Thunderstep and jump himself and Lachlan 40 feet forward through the door.
So you guys, so is that you grab Lachlan and Ashlyn? Is that what's happening?
No, I can only take one.
only take one.
My size or smaller.
Okay.
So I
So
grab Lachlan.
as thunder cracks and erupts in this room, you guys watch as Molfin and Lachlan vanish.
Never mind. It says you can see.
Oh, you have to see it. Never mind.
Yep.
So
I
that.
read that twice and didn't think it said see.
Yep. So that does not happen.
Prestidigitation.
It's a good idea.
Would have been.
Hey, Armare 101, welcome to the chat. Josh Pozaz, welcome. Mr. Carrot Rope's been hanging out tonight.
Yeah.
It's good to see you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
I was hoping to make our way through that, but that's not going to work.
Can't you do what you did before and just light it on fire and, melt it and we
Fair
can...
enough. Lachlan, do you have your flint handy again?
Couldn't hear.
Do you have your fire starter handy?
Yeah. Let me get it out. All right, I'm ready.
Grease the door!
Grease the door. And Lachlan immediately going over there using the fire starter to get this thing going. Thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that. Admiral Adams, welcome.
Admiral.
Thank you for the follow. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. So it takes a little bit of work because it's just so cold in here. But eventually, Lachlan gets this grease fire roaring back up again. During this time, Diana, Callista, and Ashlyn, are you guys just kind of like waiting and watching in the wings? Or...
No, I'm up there.
Oh, you're up
I'm
there.
watching. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have gone up there because I would have. I want to go up there.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are getting warmed up by the grease fire a little bit, as it definitely feels great considering how cold it is inside this chamber. And eventually,
Does anyone have a pot? We can cook some of this fruit.
Why do you want to cook the fruit?
Make a pie or something.
Ooh, pie! I like
Bananas
pie.
are good.
a fruit pie. Look at that.
Do I have anything? I don't own, anything. I have an umbrella.
Diana's got that lovely metal plate. Perhaps we can cook in that.
Metal plate?
Here.
Armor.
Armor.
We're not cooking in my armor. And it's chainmail. I think it'll, Or no, wait, what is it? Not plate mail, not chainmail, not plate mail.
You got splint, I
Chainmail would be
think.
good for grilling.
Yeah, you got
Split
split
mail.
mail. Yeah, that's what it is. Mhm. Yep.
Which
We
I
can
believe
grill
splint
on
mail-
this. I don't know if it'll melt.
Like, I have a dust kit. Does that have a pot?
Oh, I forgot to get it to have a +1 instead.
All right. Lachlan, you watch as the ice melts away from the door after a little bit of just you guys kind of hanging out. And it seems like the doors are no longer coated in that thick ice.
Alright, guys, I got this. I'm gonna open the door.
All right, make a strength athletics check for us, Ashlyn.
Yeah, I have no strength.
Because these are massive stone doors. Wow.
Whoa!
Wow. You guys are rolling
All
like
these crits.
crazy
Yeah.
tonight. So you guys
Wow.
watch as Ashlyn like gets herself ready. And she charges towards the door and throws her shoulder into the thing. And you watch as she slams in it and it goes. And Harshnag's just standing there in awe. And he's like, "See, I told you she was strong."
A mini giant.
Yeah. She would be a great frost giant.
Aw, shucks.
And yeah, you open the door. It doesn't open all the way, Ashlyn, but it opens enough so you guys can kind of slip through, and then Harshnag kind of follows in behind. And I'll show you guys what you see as I reveal this to you. Are you opening the left door or the right door?
Which one did you light on fire? Did you light both on fire?
Let's find out. Roll a d2. 1 is left, 2 is right.
Okay. You rolling it for us?
Yep. Once it decides to roll,
All right, left.
Well,
guess it was left.
All right.
okay.
So as you walk
over
in,
here.
this is what you guys can see.
Okay.
It opens up, and to the left there are some stairs leading up, and it looks like it has a little ledge and turns around, kind of like a fire escape or something like that. It has another set of stairs around back, and then it looks like it turns to the right after going about like 40 feet or so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else going with me?
Sure.
Yeah, I want to head into the
Should we
direction
go?
where I felt that ping from last time.
Okay. So Callista, you head in towards the direction of the ping. Are you still using your detect magic now, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'll keep it up.
Basically what happens is you get around this corner, and you can see that there is a long hallway behind you. And it goes for a very, very long... It's a long, long hallway.
Damn.
Oh wow.
All the way up to where it like ends in stone. This place, it's dark in here, but you're able to see several feet down the hallway. You can't see all the way to the end, but it just kind of disappears. Behind this little alcove is where you think you felt the ping of the magic energy. And standing in this little alcove in this corner looks to be a statue, an enormous statue that looks like a stone giant. And it has its hands outstretched like this towards the hallway.
I'm gonna run down the hallway.
And it's that's the ping I'm getting is this stone statue.
The statue, it's coming from the statue.
What type is it again?
Let me check.
You told me last time, but I forget.
Yeah. Let me.
It's rocket launcher, so as Ashlyn goes running down.
Yep.
Conjuration magic.
Oh, I probably shouldn't run down the hallway, but I'm running down the hallway.
Ashlyn, you're running down the hallway?
Yep, just see
Okay.
what's inside the doors.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like there's all these like open areas in here as you're kind of running down, and you can kind of cast a glance into these rooms and see that it looks like there's like some simple frost-covered, what looks to be stone couches in these
Oh,
rooms.
comfortable.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're all carved from stone. And eventually, after you get a little bit down the hallway, you start to hear a sound in the distance. It sounds like stone. And then you realize, as you were running down the hallway, The hallway's on just a slight bit of an incline upwards. And you start to hear this rumbling sound.
Oh no. Indiana Jones.
And it's getting louder and louder as you run down the hallway.
Anyone else hear that thing?
Ashlyn,
Hear what?
get back here. Ashlyn!
And that's where we're going to take a break for this evening, guys.
Well, I can revive you. Just don't lose any limbs, because you're not going to come back with them.
Jeez.
All right, we're going to take a quick 5 to 7 minute break. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us tonight, hanging out with us here at Proficiency Bonus. Once again, my name is Michael, the Dungeon Master for this evening. This is Storm King Thunder, episode 52, where our party members are exploring the Eye of the Allfather to try to see if they can crack the codes of this mysterious place and get some more information on what is happening with all the crazy giant happenings so far. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you in just a second, okay, guys? We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Bye.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Storm King's Thunder. This is episode 52. I'm going to take just a moment to resize a few things on my OBS. It's doing some crazy things. Crazy. Look at that big bit goal down there. We gotta get that fixed. Let's fix that. Bit goal. There we go. Bit goal is fixed. Gotta make sure my Twitch chat is fixed so it doesn't come out enormous as well. There we go. All fixed.
Oh, shiny. Question, for those of us who walked in with Ashlyn before she went charging around the corner, how far away from us is she?
She is roughly about her whole 100 feet of dashing movement.
And do we see anything coming down towards her? I mean, we've heard Callista shouting out, but...
It's pretty dark in this chamber. You can't see anything yet, but you can feel a rumbling beneath your feet, and it's getting louder and louder, resonated through the hallway. And Ashlyn, as you are hearing this, you're also hearing rumblings from beside you, and this stone is rising, blocking these doorways.
There were couches in there.
And it's completely like the stone just all of a sudden goes in these open archways of doors. So
okay, everybody run the other way now.
Okay.
And as you are you turning around to run? Basically, what you're starting to see is the glimpse of this massive, smooth, round ball that's of stone that's rolling down the hallway towards you, Indiana Jones style, and it's rolling right at you, at a pretty rapid pace.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to outrun the boulder.
All right, Ashlyn, you turn around. How fast can you run in a turn?
100 feet.
You can get okay. So basically, you guys are watching. You can just see Ashlyn come back into your range of vision. And behind her, you can see this massive rolling ball that's coming down the hallway. Callista, you're actually still standing kind of inspecting the statue that's holding out its hands, and it's coming right for you as you're standing in the middle.
Oh my god.
Does it look like Ashlyn's going to make it?
It looks like it's going to be close.
Molfen is going to start going into his inner jacket and pull out a rolled up sheet of parchment.
Okay. You have about 3 seconds. What are you doing?
Pull it out, and I'm going to read the scroll and cast Wall of Force.
Oh, nice. Do you have that description of that spell by any chance?
I do not, because I haven't posted it to my chat because it was a higher level. Give me a second. I'll drag it on. Oh, I can't drag it to my sheet.
Oh, it's a higher level, right?
Yeah, I've got to make a check for it.
Ooh.
But it's a good time to get rid of a little green icon on my emblem, as I'm going to burn the nat 20 to make sure this goes off. To save Ashlyn.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, I did a nat 20. I forgot.
So it's an invisible wall of force pops up at any point I choose within range, up to 120 feet. It can appear any orientation, and it is 10 by 10 flat panels that have to be touching at least one side of each other.
Okay, so are you going to put it just right behind her in the hallway?
Literally right behind her, however wide the hallway is.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically boom, 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 right up.
Excellent. So, Ashlyn, as you're running down, you hear and feel the impact of this ball on this magical wall of force behind you, and it seems to prevent the ball from coming any farther closer to you. And you make it back down there. You're kind of like running, and Callista basically catches you.
Yeah, I wasn't leaving. I wanted to try and drag her out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a giant boulder down that hallway. Looks at the top, and there were couches inside, but they were stone and ice, so probably not comfy. So yeah, okay. That was fun.
How long does that spell last, Molfen?
Let me jump over it. I want to say it is 10 minutes, I think.
Maybe we should get out of here.
Let me double check. And meanwhile, as the parchment that was in Molfen's hand just starts to smolder and go up in flames.
Yeah, nothing but dust as he.
Yeah, that's 10 minutes.
Okay. So yeah, basically the wall of force, I'll say, is kind of like right behind where these first two open doorways are on the map, but those doorways are now closed. The stone has like sealed those archways off of those first two rooms. And basically you guys are just left looking at this massive stone giant statue with its outstretched arms and kind of like a stop kind of motion with both hands. And on the other side, you guys notice that much like the other side of the room, there is stairs leading up on the other side as well. I'm going to reveal those to you.
Should we go up? I'm out of ideas today. Maybe I should stop thinking ideas.
Perhaps we should go back into the... That scroll I used was the only one I had. Should this come up again, I would not be able to stop it.
Okay, you're smart. I'm gonna listen to you. Let's go back in the other room.
Okay. Yeah, let's. I think we're giving Diana a heart attack, so why don't we all just take a rest?
What's gonna happen when your wall wears off, Gramps?
Well, it will continue its journey down to that statue and probably smash it.
Make an intelligence check, Molfin.
Ooh, I'm good at those.
He does in real life.
The way the hands of this statue are outstretched, you think that the ball will actually roll down and like hit the hands, and the hands will stop it.
Perhaps the hands will send it back up. Something sort of a perpetual motion trap.
Oh, interesting.
What?
Well, it is not something for us to worry about. Let us go back
Okay.
to the portal room and we shall set up camp.
Okay, I'll take a watch.
As will I.
Watch with my girl Ashlyn.
Okay. So, are you guys gonna stay in this main chamber? Is that where you were setting up your camp?
I think so.
Okay.
Are there unsecured doorways leading up?
Yeah.
Unsecured stairways?
You mean leading up the steps up here?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
Yeah.
there was any doorways there. It was just open. Leading
So we
up.
don't know what's up there. I said we should go up, but I'm out of ideas today.
We might want to at least peek, see what's up there.
See?
I would rather put the dome on ourselves and just sleep.
Oh yeah, we have a dome.
That's true. Gramps has a dome.
We do have a dome.
Got a dome.
Harshnag looks at you and he's like, "Oh, that's a thing I can't fit in, right?"
Oh yeah. Why don't we go in?
It is
Why
not
don't we
quite
go in this
polite
room?
to speak of my receding hairline in such a manner.
Ah,
That was nice. That was real
No.
nice.
not that dome.
Excuse me.
What if we go in this room and we set a watch? Because then we only have two doors.
Gramps, your brain works so hard. It's just pushing the hair out.
Definitely is warmer in that other room with that fire, but what if that
Yes.
what if that creature comes back? That remorhaz.
And
Oh, I
there
threw it
are
off a
holes.
cliff.
Oh. Well, that should do it.
But
Yeah.
Very good, Ashlyn.
Yeah.
I suppose it will take it quite some time to find its way back up here.
I think that's dead. Would it be dead? Would I know? I would not know if it was dead. I'm not gonna even make that.
It probably landed in a village.
Yeah, currently a remorhaz is just destroying a little town.
Gojira!
Wait, so when it hits the bottom, it doesn't like die?
Well, basically what happens is it takes damage, fall damage. So it would take the 1 point to kill the rat, but then it would transform back into its original form, and it would take the rest of the damage
Yeah.
to see if that would reduce it all the way to 0.
Probably not.
But
We don't know.
it was thousands and thousands of feet, so...
That's true.
I'd say it's dead.
Okay.
So realistically, it was a rat and then it was marmalade.
yeah.
Okay. I say we go in the other room with the fire.
Oh, that's actually a really good idea.
Two ideas in one day. One was bad, one is good. I see they cancel each other out.
Which leaves you with no ideas for the day to prepare.
Yeah,
Net
I
zero.
guess so.
So you guys are heading into the lower chamber?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
I will be by the way.
I suppose. Well, if no one objects, I will take last watch.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll take first with Diana.
All right. You guys head on in. You kind of make yourselves cozy next to this large fire pit area that looks like it's a place where they did a lot of cooking. There's plates and other things kind of stacked up on some of the tables that have been here for a long time. The food is rotten a long time ago.
Both.
And are you doing your little hut thing, Muffin, for the night? Or
I will after taking. I think someone said they had a mess kit.
I do.
Taking the pan from Ashlyn and trying to taking. I've still got 20 pieces of fruit, and you didn't tell me to remove one of the 7, so I'm assuming I still have 7 random pieces in there.
Yeah.
Going to take about 4 or 5 apples.
Okay.
Put them in the pan and sort of like roast. Well, actually, there's 5 of us. Yeah. Do 5 apples and ask Harshnag if he wants a couple of bananas or something.
Okay.
And just start roasting them in the pan over the fire.
Okay, go roll a D100 for me.
Oh God. Muffin, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Why?
Well, they've been
It's delicious
fine all
food.
day.
Yeah,
But
but
to use them now
there's-
before they rot.
no, but there's a few magical ones in there. I'm not sure what that's gonna do to us.
What do you mean there are magical ones in there?
Magical fruit?
Some sort of, I don't know, they're a random. What type of magic did I see, Michael?
Just about every kind.
I missed all the magic I saw.
roll a D8 for me, Muffin.
Be a 6.
Okay. So you're making some kind of apple.
Like an apple, banana,
Oh
like
gosh.
bunch of like roasted or baked apples, some
Nice.
bananas, you know.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, you
What
roast
did
it
I do
up.
detect magic as a ritual while he's cooking?
Oh, while he's cooking.
I wonder-
Okay.
I
Okay.
bet the magical ones taste better.
So basically, as you're finishing up your cooked meal here, Muffin, you can see that Callista's kind of pacing around your area of you're kind of like the master chef here, and she's like pacing around watching you. You can see that she's doing some kind of incantations and things. You're familiar with this. You know she doesn't trust you. so all of a sudden, Callista, you get hey, thank you so much for the follow. We appreciate that. Callista, you get a very bright ping of magic.
Oh, what kind of magic?
Let me double check. I want to make sure I give you guys the right one. From this apple, what these roasted apples?
Yum! Did we eat them? Can we eat them?
Wait.
Hey, did somebody catch the name of our new follow?
Antivan Crow.
All right, yeah, welcome.
Anti-Van Crow. Antivan Crow. Anti-Ivan Crow.
And I don't know why my Twitch chat just shrunk to like.
That's a Dragon Age reference if I know one when I see one.
Oh, okay.
I feel old.
Antivan Crow. It's Antivan Crow. That's the those are the assassins. I really just nerded myself right there. I'll just go back to muting myself.
No, you're all good.
You're streaming D&D on a Friday night.
Oh, it's
I have denied so many social gatherings and said it's because of work.
Callista, that's transmutation magic that's coming from the roasted apples.
These are delicious, Uncle Wolfen.
It certainly smells good.
Muffin,
no one likes them.
it's transmutation. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Ashlyn, did you already start eating?
One way to find out.
Yes, me and Uncle Wolfen.
You,
Let me have some too.
you guys. Okay, Lachlan, you're eating too.
Three of it.
As
And Wolfen.
as you guys are eating, your feet your feet start to lift off the floor,
What?
and Peter Pan style, you guys are actually like able to fly.
Can I grab the gnomes by their heels and hold them like
Absolutely. Diana's
I'll
like
do
holding
that.
on to.
As she grabs on, can I try to fly higher and see if we can take her with me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll fly with Molfin, being very,
Okay,
careful to-
Molfin, you make you make a check with advantage, a strength check, and Diana, you can make a strength check contested to see if they lift you up off the ground together as you grab on to them.
Oh no!
So that's a 17.
Armir told us to keep the high ground, and I think we're taking
yep.
a little too
So now Diana, holding on to both of your heels, is now flying behind you.
This is not what I meant by take the high road.
I'm doing somersaults.
Ashland's doing somersaults around the room.
Nice.
Kicking my legs, like trying to jump down.
Loplin, you gotta try doing backflips. That's awesome.
We could try while we're carrying Diana.
Mm-mm.
Take
No,
the Loplin,
no,
this is not
why
what
are you
I've
carrying
done.
Diana?
Nope. You won't catch
I'm
a
gonna go with
fireball from
Lachlan.
me.
Lachlan wants to do backflips. Let's do backflips.
So
All right.
Lachlan and Molfin doing backflips, pulling Diana around with them as they're twisting around.
I let go.
Oh, you let go?
Shake the coins out of her pockets. Oh, okay.
Okay. She lets go and kind of stumbles stumbles to the floor and rolls across the floor just a bit as Lachlan and Molfin are just flying with Ashlyn through the air all throughout this chamber, just enjoying this moment, trying not to run into some of the giant pillars that are in the corners of the room. They're just kind of like Lachlan and Molfin start to race as they.
I haven't had this much fun since I rode the dragon.
Oh,
Oh, and eventually, after about 10 minutes, it seems like you guys just gradually start to lower to the floor, and the effect wears off as you guys just land gently.
We need
below.
more of those apples.
that was fun.
Luckily, we seem to know where to get more.
Yay!
All right, so who's taking the first watch?
Diana and
What?
Diana and Ashlyn. Go ahead and make perception checks as the rest of the group gets comfortable. Harshnag lays on the main table above by the doors. He agrees that he'll also kind of help off and on if like he wants to be close to the doors in case something goes down. Even if he's taking a rest. Ashlyn, as you're watching during this time, you notice there's some piled up stones in the alcove, but there's something else over there that just doesn't match the same texture as the stones that are kind of piled up inside that alcove.
I'm gonna go to the alcove.
Okay. So as you go to the alcove and you look at this kind of bunched up pile of stones, you notice what looks to be two large eggs
Oh God.
in the midst of these piles of stones.
Oh.
If you were just walking by and not really paying attention, you wouldn't really notice. But the texture of them is definitely different, and they're definitely egg-shaped, sitting there just amongst these stones.
He's asleep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Diana's awake with you, but she's kind of like
Oh.
over there, just kind of keeping track of watch. She's just kind of.
Diana.
We have these homes.
Diana, there are eggs here.
Eggs? Like
Like
eggs?
like big tall thing eggs that try to eat you. Eggs.
They try to eat you?
No. The thing that tried to eat us, it has babies. It was a mommy.
Oh my god, we orphaned them.
That's your first thought here?
Yes! We're such bad people. They'll never know their mother. Oh my god.
No,
We
we're
have
gonna
to
throw
mother.
these off the cliff with the mother.
They're innocent though. They're just babies. They're just nature.
Okay. Well,
They're
you
eggs. You
fix
know
that.
what are they gonna do? Maybe they'll
How big
hatch.
are the eggs?
If you
Can I
help,
pick one up in each arm?
Yeah, you can pick one up in each arm. You'd kind of be carrying them underneath your arms,
Okay.
kind of covered.
I'll be right back. Okay, Diana, you keep watch.
Okay. I'm just planning how they're gonna get along with my son.
Oh.
I'm gonna run outside.
All right, Ashlyn sprinting back outside into the snowy weather, and launches both of these eggs off the cliff.
Ashlyn has no chill. Ashlyn has no chill.
Somewhere there is a village of a remorhaz as people are gathered around, and all they hear from above them is as it shatters on somebody's head.
Or the remorhaz has everybody kind of pinned into a corner and is like getting ready to like eat everybody, and all of a sudden these two eggs just go like right down on his head, killing the remorhaz.
Yeah!
So Ashlyn returns back to the room. Diana is like just watching as you come back without the eggs.
Wait. What just happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You just left them there?
Yeah, they're outside getting cold.
Let me just boop 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 beep 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 boop up.
I'm gonna.
Dang it!
Yeah, you're believing everything she says, Diana.
I'm gonna nat 20 that. Cause I can.
You're gonna.
I already rolled that one.
They are safe outside, and you would.
Ashley, you rolled an 11 the first time. I rolled a nat 1. You don't need to waste your nat 20.
Okay.
Yeah, you beat her anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you rolled
Okay,
an 11. Mine says you rolled an
Yeah.
11.
For some reason, it
Yeah.
rolled twice. I have an 11 and a 4.
Yeah,
I only have the. Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, that's weird. It did roll twice. Okay.
yeah. You don't have. Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, I rolled 11.
Okay. Yeah, it's safe They're safe outside in the cold.
I mean, what reason could my best friend possibly have to lie to me? Of course they're safe.
Of course they're safe. Yeah. Okay. Watch over.
Meanwhile, outside.
Best.
I would be so mad.
I'm so pleased right now.
Best episode
People think
ever.
Wolf is dark and, Callista and Ashlyn just chucking people off of cliffs. Just trying to raise a family.
That's why she was so defensive, because of her babies.
They would try to kill us. The babies would try. Anyway, okay. Is watch over. Who's next?
Yep. While your watch runs out, nothing seems to be, other than the fact that it's just really cold. But you guys have the warmth of that natural gas fire in this chamber.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna go wake Lachlan up or something, even though he didn't volunteer for a watch.
all right, yeah. Lachlan, you're being.
Oh, I was gonna wake up for the second watch, but that's fine.
Lachlan, wake up! It's your watch.
Ooh, it's morning already.
No, it's your watch. Good night.
And Diana and Ashlyn seem to get cozy and get comfortable and head off to bed, leaving Lachlan awake. You just hear the loud snores of Harshnag from over on the table. And go and make a perception check.
Sure.
I like how you're okay with this.
Lachlan, you kind of make your way kind of around. You can see, you just kind of like walking around, checking out the room. You can see where the remorhaz carved down into the floor, and it just kind of is pretty amazing the fact this creature can just break the stone in the floor and just dive underneath it, just like if it was diving into water. It's pretty amazing. Can
I explore that tunnel a little?
Sure, you could. Yeah, you make an investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of going down. It looks like an insect dug this tunnel. It's kind of cool at the top of it, though. You can see these on the bottom of the stone of the floor underneath, and areas of the dirt and stuff. Looks like it's charred and has these black marks where it hit those burning, glowing horns on its back. Just the immense heat from those things have kind of like scorched the underneath of the floor and things like that above you.
Wow,
But yeah, but you can kind of follow the hole until that area where it busted out and then became a rat.
good memory. One last thing I'd want to do on my watch is sneak off and grab another piece of fruit.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, I think Molfin pretty much got clean. He cleaned it out. Yeah.
Sleight of hand him. Grab his fruit. Wait, that sounded bad.
No, I mean.
Reach around.
Yeah.
Grabbing the fruit.
Low-hanging fruit.
Episode
There it
title.
is.
Episode title: Low hanging fruit. There it is.
Oops.
What happens? You get to be 340 years old. Anyway,
175.
All right, so Lachlan, pretty much after a couple hours, just kind of exploring around. You don't hear anything, you don't sense anything, or see anything, and your watch is over.
cool. Do I remember who's up next?
I think Callista was supposed to have your watch.
Yeah.
Then I'll go over and I'll wake up Callista.
All right, Callista, you get a nudge from Lachlan as it's time for your watch, and you
Okay.
you can go ahead and make a perception check for us as well.
There's my low rolls.
Yeah, much the same. You kind of spend your watch, your 2 hours, kind of just walking around. Nothing seems to come up.
I want to go back over to the door and just kind of like examine the room, see if I'm missing anything.
Okay. Really, you couldn't get much more information from it from your last roll.
Okay.
It's just kind of, you're just like looking it over again. You see the same things, the same markings. Everything kind of keeps pointing to these.
So when I melted all of the runes,
Mhm.
like the ice on the runes, they all appeared to have like different like weapon markings, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
And, with your check, you can put two and two together. The
Yeah.
Obviously, it's the weapon.
There-
The weapon from the hill
Weapon to the
giant
rune
to
is
the
the
touches the
key.
rune.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I spend my evening.
Okay. And
And I guess I wake up Molfin for the last
I
watch.
think Molfin is the last watch. Yeah. All right.
I will do so.
Molfin, you can go ahead and make your perception check.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Molfin, much the same for you as well. Unless there's anything special that you'd like to do while the rest of the group is sleeping, or
Molfin will stick his head out for a couple of moments and just look at the weapons on the statues.
uh
How much would I guess those weigh?
huh.
Over 500 pounds?
Yes.
Ooh,
Wow.
damn.
Your guesstimation of Thrym's great axe.
So we can't touch them all at the same time because they're all too heavy to lift.
It's gonna be, his great axe is probably between 700 and 800 pounds,
Wow.
which is why which was
Buff.
why Harshnag was having such a hard time holding that thing up. Like, he's strong enough to hold it, but it is heavy for him.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that Molfin's going to take out another one of his pouches during his watch. Scoop up some of the dirt from within that tunnel.
Okay.
Pack the pouch full of dirt. Go into his little pouch, pull out a bean, bury it inside the bag, and put the pouch back. Put the pouch of magic beans and then the new little dirt bean bag back in his pocket and finish his watch.
Okay. So as your watch comes to an end, Harshnag begins to wake, and the rest of the party, you guys all kind of begin to naturally wake up. It's hard in here because it's, it was always light in here due to the fire in the chamber. So you're not real sure. It's probably pretty early in the morning. But you guys all come to, and the morning is yours.
I'm gonna talk to Callista
Okay.
and just pull her to the side and be like, I know you like animals, and I did something bad to animals last night, and I wanted to tell you.
I look at Cleo. Is she okay?
Oh, yeah, Cleo's still there. Was snuggling up to you during the night.
Oh,
And,
what do you mean you did something bad to... What animal?
Well, there were 2 baby eggs of the
Oh, remorhaz, yes.
Yeah, that thing. And I threw them off the cliff.
Ashlyn! Did such a good job!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we fought the baby once before, and the baby we fought was not a fun time, so we spared ourselves that mess.
Okay, good.
You spared us that mess.
They were animals, and Diana was like, "Oh no,
They're not
babies."
really... They're
And,
more monstrosities than creatures.
Okay, so it's okay. I threw them off the cliff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Phew. Okay.
I kind of like pat Ashlyn on the... like, you did a good job. You're doing a really good job lately. I'm really proud of you.
Oh, well, Ashlyn, you now feel inspired by Callista. Okay, yeah, it's the morning is yours. It's pretty, it's probably very early in the morning. We're talking maybe 5, 6 a.m., around that kind of time. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I suggest we try these keys to the runes.
Perhaps we should start with the great axes. That seems to be the one Hashnag's father used.
So we start with storm, then cloud, then fire, then frost, then stone, then hill. So we'll go up from top to bottom.
No, I thought Hashnag said his father only ever used.
Yeah, I think he only needs to use the one.
Okay, but we
Was
can
he
try
with
it.
other giants when he did this?
Yeah, was he alone?
No,
Or were there other...
I just remember it being me and my father.
Okay, well then let's start with that then.
So one would assume one key should open the lock.
I'll hang back and watch the entrance, guys.
Lachlan, as you go out watching are you seeing that open door there that is kind of just left ajar? That tree is no longer there.
Hey guys, the tree's gone, huh? Funny that.
Huh. Oh well. Guess
Like, is it
Rather odd.
turned to dust, or is it just
tree?
Just gone. No sign.
no trace?
No trace. No sign of it.
Wolfen's gonna sort of walk over and try to looking down at where the roots of the tree were. Anything down on the ground there?
You can see, like, it looks like there's crack marks where the roots were kind of going down into the ground, but there's no roots. Completely gone. Vanished.
Like magic.
Wolfen's gonna take a walk down to the bottom of the steps real quick and look.
Okay.
Should we go up the steps that were in the other room?
No pouch.
You see little pieces of what you think are the remnants of a pouch.
Yes, I'm not quite sure. It seems to have completely disappeared.
Okay. So you
Must be
guys...
strange growing here.
That is strange.
Harshnag is kind of looking up towards Thrym's great axe, and he's just standing there having another moment. And he's like,
You can do it, Harshnag.
"Oh, I'm just reminiscing a bit, Ashlyn. I mean, my father was an honorable man,
Like you.
an honorable frost giant, and just to hold this great axe in my hand is just an honor." And he kind of leans it over, puts it over his shoulder, and he's hunched over because this thing is heavy, and he's kind of like just heading over towards the archway.
Lachlan, help him out. Use Mage Hand.
I'm watching the rear back here. But
Okay.
get over there, Harshnag.
So Harshnag looks back at Callista, looks back at Molfin one more time, and... Well, here we go. You ready?
Yep. Touch the rune. That correlates.
Wolfen's preparing a spell just in case.
Okay. He takes down, he looks to the bottom right ice rune, and he takes the great axe, and he slowly starts to take it towards... And you watch as it gets closer and closer, the rune starts to glow in the mithril inlay. This bright white light starts to shimmer. And the closer the axe gets, the brighter the light. And once he touches the sharp edge of the great axe to the rune, all the other runes start to glow with the same mystical bright light. And you watch through this mist of an archway that's resonating this, it looks like this fog of like dry ice and blues and pinks kind of mixing together. All of a sudden, you can see beyond. As it dissipates through, you can see through this mist. There is a chamber beyond the archway.
I'm going in.
All right.
Lachlan, it seems to be a chamber ahead.
Okay,
we can
all
finally
clear
do
back
the-
here. We can probably advance.
Let us go and meet the extraplanar entity.
How are the barbarians gonna do this without a giant of their own?
Perhaps they were giants.
Okay.
Callista.
Yep.
You feel this strange sensation as you walk through this mist. It feels like you're walking through a fog. A little bit of moisture, cold moisture, touches your face as you walk through. And it almost feels like you took just one step through. But it's odd. It feels like that step was enormous. But it was just one step. And it opens you up to this new chamber. And I'm going to play some different music for this as you get into this area. Let's see. Let's turn this down a bit so it's not overbearing. Are the rest of you walking through?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep, right behind her.
Much the same as I just described. It's like walking through fog. A little bit of this mist kind of feeling, cold mist on your face. It feels like you took one step, but it feels like that step went for such a long way. It was just this strange combination of feelings going on. And as you look around, I'm going to take you guys over to a different image as you see this chamber in front of you. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna describe the chamber first before I take you guys over there.
Real quick, did we see Brock this morning?
Oh yeah.
Is he still hanging around?
Yeah,
Okay.
Brock's with you. He walked through. Harshnag also walked through the chamber too with you guys. And you notice as you walk through, you beyond this thundering archway, you walk into a hexagonal chamber whose walls rise 50 feet before tapering to a 90-foot high apex. Standing in each corner of the room is a life-size statue of a giant holding up a heavy iron lantern with one raised arm. Each type of giant is represented: hill, stone, frost, fire, cloud, and storm. A cold magic light radiates from each lantern, illuminating a giant corpse lying on the floor beneath a shroud of frost in the middle of the room. The corpse looks like it has been here for some time, preserved by the cold. Next to the body rests a giant frost-covered morning star.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, Harshnag's like, yes, didn't go too well for him.
You recognize him?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen this giant. He looks like, perhaps a cloud giant?
Did he try to summon the oracle and die?
Do we recognize him?
Make a perception check.
Can we all get in on that as we're all picking up what she's laying down?
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't know.
Lachlan Wolfen, it's so covered in frost and ice that you're having trouble make it out. Callista, you have this fear that you're thinking Zetharos and like this whole time, and you're looking and you don't see any features that would say that this is Zetharos. It's actually he's actually wearing a golden breastplate that has these carvings and symbols of feathery wings on it.
Pretty.
I think the thing's worth
And
money.
with your perception check, you also notice that inside his frozen hand, you can see he's clutching something in his right hand.
I will go inspect what's in his hand.
Okay, his hand is like frozen around it.
I will try to melt with my flaming hands.
All right, as you start to use your flaming hands to melt, all of a sudden, this blue spectral form just starts to rise from the center of the corpse.
I stop!
And this is what you see. I'm going to take you over to a new picture. Can you guys all see this image?
Oh.
Oh.
It's kind of big.
Whoa.
Do you?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So this is what the chamber looks like inside. That's the corpse lying on the ground. And all of a sudden, this spectral blue image just starts to float out, looking very similar to the corpse laying on the ground. It has these two interesting piercings that come through the bottom of his lip. And he rises up out, looking towards you, and he's like, well, hello there.
Hello.
What are you doing here?
We're looking for the oracle. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, I was looking for the oracle as well.
Oh, we're sorry. I guess you didn't find him.
Well, right, we did find him. Just
Oh.
things didn't go as planned.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
It's kind of
wait,
awkward
it
then.
didn't go as planned. The oracle ended your life.
Oh no, the oracle did not end my life. My father did.
Oh! That's not
Oh
good.
my gosh.
That's aside or aside or
I turned to look at her
Fratricide
like,
or- paternicide. No. Matricide. He killed you!
Yes.
Okay.
He did. Yes.
I'm sorry. Why?
Well, because of some of the information that we got from the oracle. See, the oracle said that there would be a great upheaval, and that giants would be put up against giants, rise to the top. Well, unfortunately, the oracle did not have good news for my father. He said the oracle had stated to my father that he would not ever rise. But the oracle also told me to step out of the dark shadow of my father. Well, that sent my father into a rage, and we battled it out, and left me here.
Aw,
What's your name and what's your father's name?
Oh, my name is Igaron. My father, Black Caucus.
ah. That's a
Oh. That's very sad.
Well,
Egoron, do you know what's in your hand right now?
Right,
This one?
right.
I'm pointing to
This one,
no,
he's
I
like-
point to the hand on the background.
Oh, that one. That's a that's a special gem that I found. It's actually an opal. It has a giant rune inside of it, a magical giant rune.
Did it help you talk to the Oracle?
No. Not really. It's kind of an interesting piece. It helps to protect and do other things. It has magical properties.
Ooh.
You can use it as is, or it's kind of neat because you can merge it with a weapon or a piece of armor to give it magical properties. Almost like enchanting it.
How do we talk to the Oracle?
Oh, well, yeah, that's rather simple, actually. You see, it's hard to see underneath my corpse here, but there is do you see the runes in the circle that are in the center right here?
Yeah.
And as you look down, you can kind of see that there's runes that create this weird circle underneath this frosty chamber. And you can see in the center there's another rune that's a lot larger than the rest. It's like, well, this is the king rune. Anyone who stands in the center of this circle and asks a question of the Oracle will receive an answer to their question. But for every question that is asked, and he points to the lanterns around the room, one of those lanterns will go out.
What happens when all the lanterns go out?
Well, when my father and I were here, we asked all the questions, the lanterns went out, and my father left me here. And
Oh.
after some time passed, all the lanterns lit again.
Oh. Okay.
But how long have you been here?
Well, it was before... I've been here probably a while.
Aww.
All these...
I
when
do
you're dead, all these days just keep running together.
Can I try to do a check on the body to kind of gauge?
You can make an attempt. Make it with a medicine check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage
Yeah.
because it's frozen.
It's frozen. It's been preserved, so...
Okay.
Yeah, you
No,
don't have a clue
idea.
how long. Yeah.
Perhaps we should discuss what we're going to ask. And the 6 lanterns in here?
Yes. Yeah. Harshnag's I kind of like walking around knocking some ice off the frost giant statue.
Well, I think Harshnag should
Do you
have
want-
the final say in his questions since he is the giant.
Well, this is true, but there are other questions we have to ask ourselves, which is part of the reason we agreed to come here.
Agatron, that's your name, right? Agatron?
Igaron.
Agaron.
Mhm.
Agaron, do you mind if I take this item in your hand?
I've got not much use for it anymore. You can have it.
Okay,
Thank
I will
you.
try to melt around his hand to try and
Okay.
break it out.
Yeah, you're able to melt.
Very generous of you.
You can, if you'd like, you can take my weapon and my armor as well.
Aww. Well,
It seems a mite large for the young lady, but I'm certain we appreciate the offer.
Oh, I'm sure that armor will fit one of you.
Let's take a
Oh,
look, guys.
Harshnag?
I will just
Maybe
start melting the
excited.
body, I guess. I will
Alright.
just start using my hands and trying to I don't want to desecrate his remains, but I want to try and just go around it.
Okay.
What is Harshnag wearing for armor?
He's got some pretty hefty-duty chainmail on.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this wouldn't be an upgrade
Yeah,
for him?
no. You have a feeling like Harshnag's armor isn't your typical chainmail either.
Okay. Alright.
I mean, worst case scenario, you put this thing in a bag of holding and sell it, right?
No, we're not selling it in front of the dude. Be respectful.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
he said
yeah,
it
we will
could
treasure
fit
it.
us, so
Hang
it
it on the
could
wall.
very well be magical and it could fit us if we
Oh.
attune to it. So
Okay.
let's try and be gentle about this. I'll make sure to give you a proper burial.
Yes. And what weapon does he have?
It's a morning star. It's like a mace that
Oh.
has spikes on the end of it.
Ooh.
Diana has one of those, right?
I have a regular mace.
Okay.
I wish I had a morning star. Morning stars were awesome.
Why don't you use this one?
Is it big enough for me? Is it too big for me?
It's giant size. Yes, it's massive.
Yeah, I don't know if I can lift that. I mean,
Harshnag bends down. He's like, "What? This? Meh." And he just kind of sets it back down. Meh. I like
Okay.
well, I've got a pretty
my
cool-
axe better.
Fair enough.
I have a pretty cool mace with a lot of really cool charges in it that will like decimate people. So
Agaron, is there anything that we can do since you've been so generous for us? We can do it for you?
Well, if you ever come across my father's floating castle in the clouds, it'd be great if you could avenge my death.
Okay.
wait,
As
your father's floating castle in the clouds.
I don't.
In clouds. Okay, that's easy enough.
Black Gothcus. It's terrible. Terrible.
Gaucus.
Terrible.
Did he have a middle name that he likes to go by, like Zethros?
No.
Or was that perhaps a quirky uncle?
I've never heard that name. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay, good.
Diana, not everyone is a sociopath.
Well, it never hurts to ask now, does it?
We've had a bad track record with those. So.
Well, we will try
terrible
to avenge your death and give you a warrior's kind of huzzah.
That would be.
Agaron,
would be great.
Proactive quest, avenge death.
do you know approximately how long it took for the lanterns to relight?
Like I said, all these days they keep running together. It could have been a day, it could have been a week. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So,
And Callista, as you get the breastplate, it takes Harshnag coming over to help you kind of like pull this thing off of this corpse. You get a sense that this thing there could be something more to this.
Okay. Molson, do you think you could identify this? There's something strange about it.
certainly we can deal with that once we deal with
While we're thinking of questions, because we shouldn't rush into this, we should actually consider this very carefully before we attempt this.
the really only a few situations to deal with.
Yes, but we want to make the most use out of them.
Correct, but Harshnag, how many questions are you seeking to ask this oracle?
Well, my thing was my only real question I had was how we can stop the giants.
That's a good question.
That is
Fair
a
enough.
question.
That was really the only thing I was after.
That is a rather loaded
then-
question, though. I feel like it would have sub-questions.
Maybe we should ask how to stop that other dude.
We should ask
I
how to
would
stop
ask what
Vulcan.
steps you would take to restore the order.
Why don't you just stop so many people? Why are
I'm
so
sorry,
many
I'm
people
still
after
waking up.
us?
I haven't had my coffee.
We should ask about Zulkin, and we should ask about this contract Malfin got himself wrapped up in.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, how to get him out of it.
I can ask about that.
We should ask what loophole there might be, if there is one to exploit, and what that loophole would be.
So, before I step into the center of this and attempt it for the first question,
Ooh, maybe you should have one of the relics.
no, leave those for resolving the...
Oh yeah, I've totally forgot about
Next
those. Harshnag like gets out both of the relics and he holds them out, and Igaron like looks at the relics and he's like, "Oh, you've found relics! Wow, that's incredible. I think those can be used to perhaps get relight some of the lanterns, or even help to point you in the right direction.
Nice.
Those are the 3. We have 3 questions. We have 3 relics.
There's only 2 relics.
3? I thought we only had 2.
We
Yeah.
have 3.
You just have the spear tip and the golden tooth.
As they are Harshnag's relics, I feel one of them should be used, and the second being the most pressing of Zolkin problem. The second relic should be gone for Callisto or Diana to ask about the Zolkin issue.
What about your soul? Isn't that a big problem?
That was my own action. I am asking the question to attempt to resolve it, but
Oh, come on.
the actions to Diana were done to her, albeit with consent, but not knowing consent.
Which is not consent at all, really.
Hmm.
As one would say, as I am now somewhat an expert on magical contracts and all.
Yes.
Indeed.
So, as this was not done of your action, I feel the second relic should be used on your question. And we shall see what the Oracle has to say to me.
Okay.
Ow.
Gramps, we live a long time. We've got a long time to work on this. You're gonna be around a long time, right?
Many a year.
Yeah.
Live to see you have ripe old grandchildren of your own. Perhaps with that Kella and Fella ladies that you are so keen on.
New lives.
Sisters, nonetheless. And with that, Mulfin's going to walk to that king rune in the middle.
Okay.
Wait, we're doing this now?
All right.
Mulfin's just walking in.
All right. What do you?
Flop Lachlan?
You also notice there is. Do you read Dwarven, Mulfin?
I don't believe so. I don't think it shares the alphabet in common with any of the languages I speak.
Do any of you read Dwarven?
I can do comprehend
No.
languages.
Okay. There is kind of like a script near the circle too, that's looking like it's Dwarven in writing.
Can't do that till level 13.
Oh no, I can't do that.
do that?
Wrong class.
Okay.
No.
But you got
Oh,
it. You.
can Anastasius?
Good question.
Good question.
Check.
He might be able to.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
No.
All right. So Mulfin steps into the center of the circle.
Just sort of looks around for a moment. Anything happening?
Nothing seems to be happening. Agaron kind of like looks down at you. He's like, "Oh, well, I guess now's a good time to ask your question.
So
But if you don't want to, it's okay. I understand the pressure. You could get
Valid
bad
point.
bad news like my father and I and end up like me." And he points down to his corpse.
Oh.
Yeah, be careful
With
what he
that,
tells you,
Mulfin's-
Gramps. I'm like
Mulfin's gonna look
licking
down
my
and sort of
dagger.
laugh.
No, Lachlan, go in the other room.
And in Giant, Mulfin will call out to the Oracle. I beseech the Oracle to inquire as to possible loopholes in a signed contract with the Lord of the Nine Hells, Asmodeus, between himself and Mulfin Zodnik Amaranto's Wizspindle Greeneast.
A little bit of time passes, but then all of a sudden, throughout the chamber, you guys hear this booming voice. Deep voice of giant language that starts to just echo throughout the chamber. And those of you that understand giant can hear what is being said. And basically, it's the oracle comes out and says, possibly loopholes are limited with these contracts. But find another being to replace your contract. Difficult, but might be able to do it.
That's what he needs.
So basically, the Oracle told you to do exactly how you got into this mess in the first place.
Seems
But none of us know that.
Because you signed off to get Lachlan and Moby freed. There might be a way that you could replace your contract with somebody who, Asmodeus, could possibly want more.
See, I read that differently.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah.
But now, well, let me toss this out. Just as I guess I'll say, Molfin's thought process. Molfin is understanding that because I know Diana
Mhm.
understands giant as well.
Yeah, you guys both hear that. Yep.
As find another person to sign a different contract with.
Um,
I heard that too, Kanye.
there's always that.
But Molfin's not going to say anything. He's just going to sort of walk away and go,
Diana's already cooking things up
Hey,
in her head.
Diana's thinking about
A
this.
crackpot.
Mm-hmm.
well, that is certainly one option.
Mm-hmm.
What are they saying?
No,
I don't know.
You
I only speak
bloody
common.
fool, I'm speaking common again.
And as you finished that question and the answer was given, one of the lanterns goes out.
Okay.
Fair warning, Callista, this entity seems to enjoy speaking in, well, I won't say riddles, but it is advised that loopholes are limited in contracts, but to find one to replace my existing.
I'm signing on the dotted line.
Oh, we have to get my soul back first.
Diana, why would I sign a contract with Zolkin?
No, I'm
Right,
saying
you won't.
what I'm saying is either we can interpret this as you sign another soul onto your contract, thus exempting you, and we send Zolkin to 1,000 years in hell, or we
Yeah.
turn Zolkin into a desirable option for this devil, and he wants to make a new contract and cut yours off if he gets a better one with Zolkin. If we bring Zolkin to him, is what I'm saying.
Two birds, one stone.
Zolkin takes your thousands of years in hell, and he gets what he deserves, is what I'm saying.
I like it.
Harshnag looks at Ashlyn and is kind of like, "This all sounds really complicated. I don't like
It is.
I don't like this Zolkin fellow. Why don't I just take my axe and just slice him in half?"
I don't know. Why don't we
Please
do
do.
that?
Maybe than that.
It's
I think we have to find him
Diana.
first. I thought
My
that
one concern with that thought process is, do you have any idea what sort of soul we would have to offer to get out of a contract that includes the Wand of Orcus?
a really
Perhaps if we
powerful
take the
soul.
highest deity, the highest serving member of the Church of Ilmater and offer that soul.
No. A really powerful bad soul.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, then I think she had a better
Precisely.
plan.
Well,
Igaran looks at you, Molfin, is like, "Man, you got yourself in some serious crap."
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
And then that's coming from the dead guy.
Yeah. Acheron. Yeah.
one would say, in order to lose one's soul, die.
Egoron, can I ask questions in common, or do they have to be in giant?
You can ask the questions in common, but all the answers given are going to be in the giant tongue.
Okay,
I can translate.
okay. Well, should we ask about Zolkin?
I would say we do.
Okay, I will.
The Greenies family curse.
Greenie's family curse passed down from generation to generation. Here you go, my boy. Will you sign this contract? Here you go, my boy. Will you sign this contract? Here you are, my boy.
As soon as they turn legally 18, it's just like, all right, you make your blood pact with the demon now, so Dad won't die.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. All right, Callista steps into the circle.
There is that one greenies leaf. You can always make him sign it.
How do we stop the man, the monstrosity called Zulkin, and spare Diana her fate?
Lure him to you with the item you possess. Destroy him and stop the evil beyond. And another lantern goes.
Molphin will
How-
share that verbatim with Callista.
Lure him
I
to
will-
you with the
Okay. Ooh, can I ask one?
Diana's like, ooh, let me in. Let me in. I gotta go.
Evil.
I just want to know. I'm not asking this to him. I'll whisper it to Callista. I just want to know if, like, killing Zulkin will, like, kill my soul too, or like how to disconnect my soul from the dagger before we like.
Well, if it
Can I
spares,
return my soul to my body?
No,
If
it'll
it's-
spare
if we
Yes.
you.
destroy him, it will spare you your fate. Meaning, I think it will save you if we destroy him.
But I mean,
Yes.
how do we know that for sure? You want to know who we
'Cause
know?
the Oracle stuff.
That's
You can try it and see what happens.
Oracle just said, Diana. You heard it as well as I.
No, but it said how to destroy Zulkin and spare me my fate, which means, you know, being bound to Zulkin forever. But that's just
Yes.
killing Zulkin. That doesn't mean saving my soul. My soul could still be in this gem by the end of this.
We can always
We'd
break
be-
the gem.
How do we?
And that would kill a part of my soul as it did Kella.
Oh, Kella, yeah, you like Kella.
And I would like to love again. And to not be this like weird, kind of heartless version of myself that I'm not very used to.
You are very loving.
Thank you. I try. I think
Yeah.
it's having this thing close is what makes it better.
Well, let's have Harshnag ask his question, and we'll get back to you if we still have
Okay.
the other items. If we need to re-ask questions and like get proper answers, but let's let Harshnag ask what he needs to ask.
Okay.
Yes.
Molphin is just staring at Ashlyn the entire time, hairy eyeball, confused, when she
Why?
said that Diana was a very loving person, thinking about all the things that Diana has done since we've met.
It's because she lost her soul early on. You don't know her like Ashlyn does.
As Callista made that statement, Harshnag kind of hesitantly starts to walk towards the center of the circle. He sets his great axe kind of down beside him and takes one knee inside the circle. He removes his dragon skull helm that he wears and kind of rests it down on his knee that's kind of flat as he's just kind of just on that one knee, and he just looks up and in giant says, "What must be done to stop my kin, the giants?" And then you hear the answer back in giant. "Find a magic conch of the storm giant king Hecaton.
What the hell?
Use it to visit Hecaton's court. Root out the evil therein." And then you see another lantern go out. Harshnag kind of stands up slowly and puts his skull helm back on.
Perhaps we should ask where the conch is.
That's a good idea, because I don't know anything about a conch, says Harshnag.
Can I be the one to ask it?
Oh,
Go ahead.
sure, Diana, sure. And he walks out of the circle. Diana marches her way into the circle, all prideful.
And in immaculate giant, perfect accent, I would like to ask where the conch would be found.
And
Molfin's going to lean over towards Harshnag and try to whisper his stage whisper to him, trying to make sure Diana doesn't hear. Was she speaking in a hill giant dialect?
Harshnag just starts to chuckle a bit.
Oh, the shade!
Oh, that is good. I like that one.
Oh.
Guiding bolt to the face!
That's one of the funniest jokes I've heard in a long time, Muffin. And then you hear a booming giant voice ring out in the chamber once again. Conches are located in the clutches of a giant lord.
Find the conch
And-
in the clutches of a giant lord.
Another torch. Lantern goes out.
And that was the fourth, and we
Yep.
have one more, right?
You have two more.
Two more.
Ooh,
Plus the two
Harshnag's like holding these relics. He's like, well, we could use these.
4 more.
Oh, I forgot about those. Dang.
So
I
I thought they were just
so out of
inside.
character question, it would be like 4 questions left because the other 2 relight lanterns. Or what are the other 2? What did the relics do again? What did he say?
Igeron-
They relight
Igeron
lanterns, or they
Feels that they will relight some lanterns and that they will give you possible additional information going forward. He's not
They
exact.
give us like a super question.
He's not 100% sure exactly what it's going to do, but he has that feeling like it's going to do something like that.
Okay. So we save those 2 for more information on, I'd say, the item and the Lord, and then the other one could be for either Diana or Molfin for more information on theirs. I would prefer it to be Molfin
Yeah.
because we can ask right now a little bit more about Zulkin with the non-super question.
Does this entity... No, I'm sorry, Mr. Dead Giant. I seem to have misplaced your name.
Oh, it's Igeron.
Igeron, I apologize.
Well, I
Does this-
can tell you have a lot on your mind. It's okay.
Yeah.
Does this entity only speak common and giant, or does it speak other tongues as well?
It understands all languages, but only speaks in the giant tongue, as this is a great mediator between the giants and the giant deities.
Ooh. You're so smart, Igeron.
Oh, well, thank you. I wish I was still alive to enjoy being so smart.
Oh. Yeah.
Harshnag's like, yeah, that's a good point.
I have a question.
Okay.
If possible, I would like to hold on to one at the end. I may have another one if we have possibility for it.
I'm going into the center,
Okay.
Oh no.
and in Draconic, I'm going to ask where is Clarion and is he alive?
Clarion is alive. In his abode. Frozen in time. And another torch goes out.
Okay. Okay. I step out of the circle looking completely shocked right now.
Molfen will look at Callista. Well, interesting question.
Because that's her boyfriend.
Oh, I'm worried about him.
Callista, would you like the answer to your question, or do you speak giant?
Oh, right. I don't even know.
Yeah,
Good point.
Good point.
Good save. Yes,
Yeah.
I would like the answer to the question.
Alive, but frozen. Immobile. Trapped in time.
You said it more cryptic than the thing did.
Well,
In his
Graham said-
abode.
Diana,
He's in
it
his
is
abode.
it is not
Pat-
my place.
It went through the
Just-
Molfen filter right there. It just
it is not my place to share with the rest, as she took care to not. Callista knows me well enough to know what I mean.
There remains
we
one
have-
torch burning.
Lit.
One lantern.
God damn it, Michael.
Ugh.
Well, I'm gonna say it right now. I don't have any questions.
So how do we use these offerings to relight these torches?
Igaron looks towards you and says, I believe you just rest them into the circle. The Oracle will accept them.
Sounds fair.
Which would mean we have 2 offerings, 1 remaining lit torch. We have potentially 3 questions left.
Yes.
What do we have need to ask? Assuming we are saving 1 for myself, that leaves us
Yes.
2 other questions.
Let me just go through my notes real quick to see if there's anything else I'm forgetting about.
Can anyone else hear my
Oh.
dog snoring?
Michael, I have to ask on behalf of JJ because he's not here.
Yeah.
Is there any questions Anastasius would want to ask?
You know, without him being here, I'm not 100% sure.
I know.
You know, I know a little bit about his story and things like that.
Same.
but-
So that's why I was like, would he take that initiative to ask something along those lines? 'Cause you know something and I know something, so
Well, if all else fails, you can always come back.
fair. Okay, fair point.
I was gonna suggest maybe we leave a question open and then retcon it later, so that way, we can just say oh, yep, and it was shrouded in mystery, whoop, and then we just let JJ narrate when he comes back.
Yep, we might be able to do that too. I mean, it's really up to you guys. I'll let you guys decide as a group what you would like to do with
Okay.
that. Excuse me.
Just because, yeah.
Guess it depends what we get on these next few questions. If he gives us enough info.
Well, no, it depends on...
What about why did this happen? Why did the ordning break? Why is this happening? Like, we don't know anything about why they're attacking. They're just suddenly uprising.
Well, it sounds like that there was an evil Hexagon.
There's an evil
Giant.
rooted in the Storm King's court,
Yep.
I guess.
Giant
Yeah, so
Hecaton.
what
Something
broke
is-
the... So something evil broke the ordning, right?
And you guys heard from Harshnag too that King Hecaton is missing. They don't know where he is.
Oh. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this
Seems
happened. The king
Mhm.
went missing, and he
Mhm.
Yeah,
he
I
was,
was trying to
open,
remember because
and
I
he
couldn't
brought
remember what it
peace.
was.
Yep.
But I know that we don't know. We just know that when he went missing, all hell broke loose,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, basically all this kind of happened at once, like the ordning and King Hecaton going missing. It all kind of starts to piecing together. This is all kind of happening at the relatively about the same time.
What's the ordning?
The ordning is a hierarchy of giants. Basically, the giant deities left the storm giants basically in charge of everyone underneath. So King Hecaton is the king. What you guys know as a king of the storm giants would be on top of every other giant. Is basically the king giant. And then all the other giants kind of fall in line underneath. Well, the deities decided, hey, we're not going to deal with that hierarchy anymore. You guys fend for yourselves. So now the giants are all at war with each other and trying to do what they can to appease the gods to change. So when the ordning is reestablished, that they might be up on top.
Okay.
So that's what Zetharos kind of told you guys when you guys were up in that tower is, now the giants are going crazy because they see an opportunity to change their status.
It's like the day the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Oh my god, we're in the Northern Water Tribe right now. We're the end of season 1.
So, we have 3 left. If we, it shouldn't be in Molfen. And so if we plan on saving 1 for Anastasia's potential retcon, that leaves us 2.
It's up to you guys if you want to do it. I'm just...
Well, you're probably right, it's not a bad idea, Mike.
Yeah.
To save 1 for JJ in case, and it could open up more options for his character.
And then if he chooses not to ask, because there's also a possibility that he won't ask in front of us.
Yeah.
Which is also something I could see him doing. I could see him doing it either way. So we could also retcon and be like, okay, well then what was it a question we would have asked?
Right.
Will Ashlyn ever find true love? I think that should be at the top of our list.
Okay, so when we retcon if JJ wants the question or not, we give it to Ashlyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that seem fair?
That seems fair.
I like it.
Yeah?
Works for me.
Okay, so we just gotta remember that when JJ comes back that we have that question that he or she will ask.
Okay.
So that leaves 2 questions left.
Yeah.
Okay, one for the Zolkin problem, one for Molfin's soul problem.
Or we should ask about. I think
that giant lord.
We can come back. Yeah, I think we should talk about the giant lord, and I think we should ask about the demon.
About the what?
Whatever the devil lord, devil of the 9 hells.
Asmodeus?
That's the one.
Ooh, what about Orcus? We could ask a question about Orcus and his wand.
That was not.
It went all the way down the line. As soon as you guys said it, it was like,
When you play D&D together too long, you just become one person.
Oh, Rockland! Oh no! Wait! Oh no! I know. I know. Oh my god.
What?
Nothing. We're having. You know what I mean?
What?
I have a question. I don't know if it's one you would follow suit with, though.
What do you mean?
I'm so confused.
Other ways to potentially get out of the contract. Looking for other ways short of trying to trick someone into signing.
Or magically command them.
Well, one would
Nice.
assume that signing said contract under duress would void such contract as
You think
devils,
they care
though
about
evil.
Yeah, these are devils. I don't know if they care.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You were kind of under duress in that moment, too, right? Either your family suffers hell or you don't.
We could pay someone, maybe.
Before we go down there, I'm going to pose my question in another manner to it
Okay,
and
well,
see what it says.
it's your
Just the
turn,
relic.
so I think
So.
you are in your right to ask what you need to ask.
Oh, I could use one of these relics with it?
Yes.
Might I have a tooth, then?
Okay.
So Molfin's gonna walk over and, taking after Harshnag, we'll set the tooth down first.
Okay, as you set the tooth down, you notice 2 things happen.
Ooh.
one of the lanterns relights, but it relights in a blue flame. So now you got like a gold flame and one with a blue flame. And you also notice emerging from a wall to the right of you, all of a sudden, the wall starts to expand outward in a shape of an embossed. Embossed is going in. This would be kind of protruding out. It looks like some kind of giant form that's protruding from the wall, but then it's made of stone, and it just comes out just a little bit. And it looks like an image of a giant holding this massive greatsword over the back. And as you're looking at him, it looks very similar to that fire giant statue outside. And then you hear, before you even get to ask your question, you hear a booming voice. It says, "You have proven yourself. You are worthy." And it continues. "When human barbarians came to these lands, they fought our kind and stole our relics, burying them in the ground and surrounding them with their dead. But you have brought one to the Oracle. Because..."
Pre-recorded message.
It's kind of similar, yeah. But because of your bravery, your path will be made clear.
I don't know what this means.
There are many paths to take. The more relics you deliver, the more paths you will have to choose from. Several evil giant lords stand ready to oppose you. You can ruin all of their plans by defeating just one of them. Which one remains to be seen?
What? Do we need to collect them all?
And this was all said in giant?
Yeah, it was all said in giant. Harshnag's kind of looking confused too at you, and
Molphin is looking at Diana.
Wait, here,
I look at Molphin.
Muffin, take this one too. And he, this massive mithril spear tip, he drops it into your arms, and you like fall to the floor. And as it hits the floor, and you notice that tooth just disappeared, it vanished. And as the mithril spear tip hits the floor, you see the runes kind of glow, the rune in the center glow, and it also disappears. And to your far right, the farthest right wall, you see emerging an image of what looks to be a majestic cloud giant.
Ooh.
Holding a masquerade ball mask with a little bit of a stick to it over its face.
Weird.
And then another one of the lanterns relights with a blue light. Oh. And Igaron looks towards you and makes sense. The Oracle wants you to choose your path based upon these relics in which you brought it.
Molphin is very cloud giant-y.
Always flying, levitating.
I don't understand.
He's just got that wisdom, you know what I mean? His head is in the clouds, kind of.
You see Harshnag like walking over towards the fire giant, and he starts like pacing in front of him angrily. Always hated these guys. He wants to, but he's afraid he's going to mess something up.
Okay, I won't think of this.
As Molphin is sitting there again, just running his hand constantly over the facial hair, just almost staring into space. With what Molfin's read and what he's heard from Harshnag and from Zephyros, would he know which among the tribes of giants are more well known for their arcane prowess?
Go ahead and make a history check.
I would like to inspire him. I will just, you can do it.
Anastasia's will
Wow.
inspire.
Anastasius will inspire.
I got a nat 20. You can use
Oh,
your
then-
nat 20.
Uh,
I'll give to you my nat 20. Since you...
Ashlyn is giving up
Oh.
her nat 20. All right.
So that would
You
make a
saved
history
me
check of
from,
31.
31.
Okay. Since you saved me from that rolling ball. with
Ba-
your nat 20.
Aw.
As far as the arcane nature would go, cloud giants definitely by far are way more intelligent than fire giants, or any of the other. Well, storm giants do have some arcane abilities, but the storm giants are kind of like good all around, whereas some of them are more kind of focused in different things. Where it seems to be the fire giants are more on brute force and their ability to be able to forge things from metals and use that kind of technology. Maybe not so much arcane in nature, whereas your cloud giants are going to be more of your knowledgeable arcane individuals. Not every single one of them, but you know you
Right.
can't bottle them up into one kind of thing. But
We have
Yes,
to find
Diana's
another
right.
relic.
It would seem that the cloud is the way to go.
Do what you need to do, Molson.
I had not sat down planning to discuss giants. I was planning on leaving that to others. But it appears that I need to, well, to start. Great Oracle, I will seek your guidance. We would approach and take on this task via the cloud giants.
as you say that, you watch as the fire giant, kind of like sculpture that came out of the wall, goes back right into the wall, forming a flat surface again. But the cloud giant stays. And you hear a booming voice. I am pleased. Countess Sansarai is an extremely difficult foe. To get there, her cloud temple. Travel southeast to the untamed moors and look to the sky for Lin Armal, the castle of the cloud giant countess. The conch you seek is in a secret chest. Search the highest spire.
I hope someone else wrote all this down. I'm trying to reconnect.
And
As
Molfin,
much as I could.
as that voice ends, you feel as if somehow something magically was implanted in you that you know how to get there.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Like,
This is a
you know
fascinating sensation.
exactly where to go.
A little gnome compass.
Oh.
I'll turn, without standing up, I'll just turn my head and look in that direct direction.
Yes,
You okay, Gramps? You okay over there?
I know exactly where we need to go.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
Molfen maps, I prefer.
Do we get another question though about
Yeah.
your soul?
There's still a gold light and there's still two blue lights shining in the lanterns.
So we can ask about your soul and Diana. So
So, in primordial now. Molfin looks at the area and says, Great Oracle, I seek one last question on the contract between Asmodeus and myself. Is avoiding death an efficient way to avoid the contract?
That's not what it is. Can't perhaps.
Yes. Another light goes out.
Muffin will stand up and walk out of the circle. Well,
Diana, your turn.
Who?
What's left of 2 blue shimmering flames and 2 of the giant lanterns.
Do we have any more relics?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
it appears the relics were designed to aid us in locating a path to find one of these magic conches. It did not give much clarification to my last question.
I was hoping it would do something for like life paths, you know? Like I was really hoping for a life coach right now.
Yeah.
No, it appears to have installed a Countess Sunsary compass, if you will. As they say, follow the nose, and it will lead you where we need to go.
Oh, Jesus.
In Celestial, I will ask everyone how they feel the weather is today. To see if anyone understands me.
Does anybody respond?
Hang on, I'm looking to see if Anastasia's, because I don't see any languages in his.
He might not have it. He might not have it in his character sheet.
I doubt he'll know Celestial. He's
Yeah.
part devil.
That's all the more reason he might.
I know he'll know
That's
he'll know Infernal probably, and
He knows Infernal. He knows Elvish for sure.
yeah. I don't know. We can always go back and retcon it if we need to.
Yeah.
Molfin is going to look at Diana as she's saying this
Oh.
and
No, he doesn't know those.
say to her in Giant, "It is not very nice to speak in languages that the rest of the group does not understand."
Yeah, all of you.
In Giant,
I
I
know
would
you would
say
understand.
yes.
Yeah,
Like,
Lachlan has not
very
understood
much.
anything his whole time. He's like-
Either Ashlyn.
Yes, like you just did, Molfin, she'll say in Giant still.
So Lachlan, how's everything going?
Can you guys
Good
just translate, please?
I
My apologies, I was teasing Diana for asking things in languages that people do not speak.
Kind of like what
I
you're
was
doing.
only trying to see what we all knew, and also you did the same thing when you spoke in whatever it was that you spoke in.
Well, I was speaking to the Oracle about the matter of my soul. You were
And I
directing
was
questions
the
at
Oracle
us.
And I'm going to speak to the Oracle about matters of my soul, and I would like them to be
You're in Faerun, America. You should speak common.
There it is.
there it is. It's happened.
make Faerun great again.
No.
Go and
It's
ask
really
your
just
question
a
then,
really
Diana.
downhill
All right.
giant that's just trying to become the king of the giants.
So Diana stepping into the circle?
If no one else wants to ask anything, then sure.
Okay.
Oh, we've got the one question we're saving for JJ, which leaves
Yeah, we
one
have
left.
one. We have one for JJ, and then there's one left. So we have to make sure that it's a good one.
Okay. Are we all like positive that this is there anything else that any of us want to ask, like involving like personal questions? I've already had
Because
one.
my thing was is like I may ask to retcon this a bit because my thing was is allowing JJ to have the normal question, and then there's two left with the more information for us.
Did we lose?
Okay. So like
Did we lose
JJ will
Michael?
get the gold
lose
flame
Michael?
and
No,
we get
no,
the
I
blue flames?
reconnected.
Okay.
Okay, did you hear my question?
What was it again?
Okay, so what I had thought is JJ would use the normal glow, like the normal gold question, and then that would leave 2 left for us.
Okay.
2 blue ones.
Yeah.
So if Molfin were to get more information out of his last question.
What was the yes or no question?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Molfin specifically worded that a very specific way.
Yeah.
He
worded it in a way that he was going to get a really simple
Okay,
answer.
well then it won't matter. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So does he have one? So does Anastasia have a blue?
So JJ has a blue question then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Ooh,
there's one blue one left for whoever asked.
For
and there's
whoever.
one other
Yeah.
one.
What did
That's
you
either
want to ask?
JJ or...
Yeah. What did you want to ask, Diana?
That's the thing. I'm not sure. Lachlan whispered something to Diana in character that seemed very important, but out of character. Like, it was something about what her deity told her, and she wouldn't question her deity, but also
Diana, we don't know where he is. Do we?
Her deity, okay, it's about her priest. Her deity was like, oh, your priest is fine, there's order restored in Daggerford, you're okay.
You believed it because you did an insight.
Well, I believed it because I believe my deity, like, no matter what. Like, I have to believe my god, otherwise I'm not really a believer, am I? But then I remember Callista said something that, like, might have casted some doubt, and now Lachlan's whispering to her that might have casted some doubt. I can't justify her not believing what her deity said. I can't justify her not having faith. But it would be a good character development moment if she didn't. I think I'm going to let someone else have the last question, because I don't think Diana wants to think about the possibility of her not having faith. So,
okay, I'll ask it.
Well, here's the thing. If we ask about, because we know where the conch is, right?
Yeah.
The compass. Should we ask about Tom where he is?
I'm gonna ask. Can I ask if destroying the stone would destroy Diana's soul?
Is that what you want to ask, Ashlyn?
Because I don't want Diana's soul to be lost forever.
Oh, but we already know that that's what that's gonna do. I would ask
if we destroy it right now, if we destroy her stone right now, it's not good. We can't destroy her stone until
what about,
is
there a way to save Diana's soul?
That was what I was wondering too. Is there a way to get my soul out of the gem without having to directly involve Zolkin?
Let's just ask if there's a way to save her soul.
Is there a way to bring her back to normal, maybe?
My dear boy, I don't think that woman has ever been.
Hey.
Told a story ever told. Somewhere far along this road, she lost her soul. She was so heartless. I'm gonna be a bard.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did that not all happen after you promoted a goblin to ruler and then sent it free in the forest of the elves?
I was naive. I was a child. I believed that people were good, and I didn't know that she ate other people.
But
you attempted to feed human to Callista.
No,
that was not fun.
Rich. Let's worry about the question while we're here in this chamber.
But I want to make sure it's worded properly, because if you ask if you can keep Diana normal, your answer will be, she is not.
Well,
so, let us make sure we ask the
to
question.
save Diana's soul. How about that?
Hey, Cat, stop mooning the stream. Get out of here.
That too.
Ashlyn, perhaps asking if there is a way to unify her soul without needing to directly engage Zolkin would be a better way to phrase it.
I mean, don't we want to fight Zolkin?
I don't want a yes or no answer.
I just don't know if killing Zolkin is going to release my soul from the gem or not. And if it doesn't, then what am I going to do? I'm kind of SOL there.
So I don't want a yes or no question. I want
We want what is the best way to reunify Diana's soul from the gem back to her, to make her whole again?
Okay, I go in the middle of the...
What is the best way?
What is the best way? Okay. I go in the middle of the circle, and I kneel. and I say, "Oh, Oracle! Oh, great Oracle! Come to me with your wisdom. And, please tell me the answer to my question, which is, what is the best way to unify Diana's soul together without involving Zulkin? Yay. I'll praise you." And then I, go to the floor and I,
Nice.
get up. Yeah.
So in Giant, you hear a booming voice sprout out.
Okay. I can't understand this. Someone translate.
It starts speaking and it says, "To reunite Diana's soul, you must destroy Cruella the Black
What?
and his life force in which you possess." And then one of the blue flames goes out.
So, is Cruella the Black Zulkin?
Well, no, my
No.
concern is this line about the life force that you have.
We have his dagger. It's not
So is
Zulkin's dagger. Molfin, did you see the other figure when you were in the cemetery?
The other figure, you mean the women?
No, there was a hooded figure in that vision that told Zulkin what to do and told Zulkin to leave me alone because I was baiting him, and the guy, the hooded figure knew I was baiting Zulkin and got mad at Zulkin and pretty much ended everything and kicked me out.
No, I do not recall seeing that.
I guess I was the only one that saw that, Michael.
Yep. I think you were the only one that saw that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because
Sorry.
I've known for a while that Zulkin's being controlled by something bigger than him. And
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, you've known
Well,
this. You've known that there was someone else that you saw that night. You didn't know who. But yeah, there's someone beyond Zulkin.
Oh.
Damn, what a long play, Michael! Holy crap!
Whew.
Wow, what a callback!
So,
Dang, what is the
And as that blue flame goes out, that's where we're gonna end tonight's episode. Awesome job, everybody.
That was so
High
nerve-wracking.
five, everybody! We did a good job.
Yes, a virtual high five, everybody. Well done. Well
hey,
done.
Frozen Roll 20.
Oh,
Love it.
and I tell you what, I was planning all day for that remorhaz battle. I'm like, this thing,
I've been planning all week.
it's a sitting duck out in the open, so I'm gonna make a burrow underneath and just come up and just start swallowing guys whole and just eating one after another. Cop, cop, cop,
Can
cop.
do that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I can do that.
Oh yeah, it can swallow you, and it does massive damage too.
Yeah.
And you guys have found out before that if you melee attack it, it does fire damage to you just for hitting it.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
And
Two.
and as Molfin must have forgot, it's immune to both cold and fire damage.
Yep.
I thought it was fire and lightning, and I'm like, okay, so I didn't set up to have dragon breath anyway during today, so I know fire doesn't work. Ray of Frost must be the one I needed to use.
I've been planning this all week. I'm like, I got my pixies. We're throwing this rat
Yeah.
off a cliff.
You-
That's my plan.
You had it in the bag the whole time, and I just didn't put two and two together. I was like, there it goes.
I'm so pleased.
The one thing that the remorhaz lacks is no additional actions, like no multi-attack and nothing like that. Because their attack is so devastating when it does hit,
Right.
they don't give it like a multi-attack or anything like that.
So when it hits you, does it just auto swallow you, or is it like a grapple?
No,
or...
the first one is massive damage and a grapple, and then it has to succeed on another bite while you're grappled in its mouth to actually swallow you.
Oh damn!
So
Ooh.
it slows things down and it makes it difficult when they're by themselves. But I could see it if they were like as a group or there was other monsters involved, it might be pretty tricky.
Yeah.
So
That's scary.
So yeah, awesome job, guys. That was a very clever way of dealing with that problem, and you guys I was worried about the whole Oracle thing just because of I've been on different forums and stuff in Storm King's Thunder, and a lot of groups struggle with what questions to ask. But you guys had a lot of good questions to kind of keep the story moving. So great job, everybody.
We have like a million different things going on at once.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're not just dealing with storm giants.
Well-
we're dealing with everything.
Well, that was my fear. I was like, they're gonna ask all these questions about their backstories and nothing about the giants, and then I'm gonna be like writing for the next several months.
Yep.
Here's the nice part. We know we need to hang Diana out on a stick to lure Zolkin to us now.
Ooh, I'm just-
Because we obviously possess Diana, so she's our lure. We found
I'm
out
not-
Clarion is trapped
Oh,
in a crystal block somewhere frozen in time.
Yeah, I want to get Clarion to help us with the giants, man.
Yeah.
Pity man, he's frozen in time.
We can go get him.
We have like 5 new side quests that we have to do
We
now,
have
by
all
the
the side
way.
quests.
You guys have it all. Yep. Well, awesome.
Morphin got his answer, so
Why don't we go ahead and give out a nat 20 for next week?
Okay.
If we got anybody involved in our chat still hanging out, if you guys want to give a vote on who you think deserves a nat 20 for our next week's
Yeah,
episode.
Ashlyn pushing those eggs off the cliff.
That
Yeah,
was so good.
that was so good.
I was so proud. I'm like, yes.
normally I'd say Ashton. I know she had this week's savings. I did that. I want to go Callista because if that thing had taken a bite out of Molfin,
Mm-hmm.
there may not have been a need for a question. It would just be, 1,000 years of sunshine.
No.
Oh, we have to get Molfin's contract thing sorted out soon. Maybe even faster than
Yes.
Diana.
He's gonna be around a long time. Doesn't take effect till he
Listen,
dies,
he's
right?
an old man, okay? He could kick the bucket at any time.
Yeah, Ashlyn's thing was great, but I tell you what, I think we're gonna go ahead and give it to Callista for this week, because that really did save Molfin,
Yeah.
The whole
because that thing was gonna try to just swipe him right off a Harshnag's
I
shoulder.
was so worried because I rolled so low on initiative. I wanted to go like higher up, but I rolled after him. I'm like, oh no, I don't
Because
want anyone to get hurt.
I was gonna play the remorhaz pretty tough because it's just an insect type creature.
Right.
It just wants to eat you.
Yeah.
And it wants to
Yeah.
do it without dying. So
Yeah.
what it was going to do is it was going to eat and swallow and then burrow.
Oh.
And then come back out and get another person. Eat, swallow, burrow. And that's the way
That's evil, Michael.
Oh, that is for TPK.
that's what it was going to do because that's what it wants to do. It wants to eat you. That's about it.
Michael, you were a TPK DM.
And it's not going to sit there and just say, "Hey, please shoot me with arrows. Hey, look at me."
I'm so shook right now.
Just because I'm curious and knowing what it is, I know the stats on it because
Oh yeah, you've DM'd before. You know what they are.
first bite itself,
Yeah.
38 damage, and then
Plus the
if it swallows you,
well,
oh,
wait,
yeah,
you
plus the fire.
plus the
Yeah.
3d6 fire damage that the bite does,
Oh my god.
and you're grappled.
So literally, that is already 51 points. Molfin only has 61. If he swallows,
You're
and
yeah,
that's
you're
another
dead.
66 acid.
66 acid damage.
That just drops you to
Molfin's dead.
0.
Yeah.
And then
Now I'm
that's
unconscious.
it.
I'm
dead.
suffocating because I'm actually to say it's suffocating.
It's brutal. If it gets
Blinded, restrained, total cover. Nope. Yeah, that's
We
just.
lived, guys. We're not dead.
You lived. You lived.
And I only had 3 spells, and one of them I was saving was going to be Revivify. The other one was going to be Death Ward. So if one of you hit to 0, then you
I
wouldn't
was
die.
worried
You would go
about
back to 1
Ashlyn
hit
getting
point.
hit. I thought Ashlyn was gonna go down.
Me too.
And that's one of the reasons I keep life transference on me because Molfin can teleport and get out of places.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And that life transference is helpful.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys did excellent tonight. That was a great episode.
So
See, my
good,
cat's so
so
excited
good.
about how good you guys did.
Yay, my favorite fan.
She's coming to thank everybody, isn't she? Coming to thank everybody. Yeah, great job, everybody. Don't forget, all of our friends on Twitch, make sure that you guys tune in on Monday nights for Tomb of Annihilation with Dungeon Master Matthew, as he
They're in
leads
some tight water right
They
now.
are in some tight water, so make sure. I've got to go back and catch up on some of the endings of the episodes. I've been catching like the first half and then been drifting off. But we also got Hell or High Water Deep on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. We've got Mystic Hour with Christy Mystic Water on Thursdays right before Critical Role. You got to check that out. We're going to have a new show on Thursdays starting in 2 weeks, Delve and Dash, where we're going to do just short 1 hour D&D episodes with a new cast. So it's going to be really quick, fast-paced. Because we're thinking about the viewer and viewers with cats trying to knock over your microphones, and that doesn't.
Yeah.
Go away! Stop scratching me. And we've also got obviously we got our Friday nights, so make sure you guys tune back in for episode 53 next week. Insight Check, our friends over at Insight Check will be live tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you go check out our friends at Insight Check. And all those...
Heckle Stumpy from chat. Tell them Blitz sent you.
Oh, yeah. Heckle a little bit of Stumpy from chat. Does anybody else have any announcements? I know we're still casting for Curse of Strahd, probably for another week. So make sure you guys fill in an application. If you type in !Strahd in the Twitch chat, you will get a link to that Google form application. Make sure you fill it out. You never know. You don't know if you don't try. So go ahead and fill out that application, and you could be the next cast member on one of our shows here at Proficiency Bonus.
For Mystic Hour next week, it looks like I'm going to be having the ladies back from the second episode with Wormwood Gaming and the Critical Role fan club.
I love
Unfortunately,
those.
Jen, she's moved to China, so she's in the middle of like doing stuff for school and work, so she won't be able to make it. But we are definitely going to be having another episode where all 5 of us will be reunited. But the three other girls are definitely going to be there, so
awesome.
come check us out.
That's a great group. So make sure you guys tune into that. I think that's about it. Anybody else have anything they need to throw out there?
Dicebar.com!
Dicebar.
Thank you, sponsors.
Yeah, thank you, sponsor
Probo.
Dicebar. Use Probo coupon code. Get yourself some dice. These rolled pretty well. The only nat 20 I rolled on it tonight was for the rat not to get captured by Mulfin. So it came in handy at the opportune time. I failed pretty much every other time.
Mulfin was going to tell Harshnag to eat it if he got it.
Oh, no. There was also something else about Mystic Hour. We are in the talks, me and JD are in the talks of maybe developing it into maybe once a month, doing a special Waterdeep episode, maybe one-shots. People from chat can maybe join our one-shots. So that's something that's going to be coming in the coming weeks.
All right.
We'll be discussing that.
Cool. Yeah, fill us in so we can start advertising about it too. If you guys
Definitely.
Make it open to the public like that, that's really cool. Awesome. Well, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're riding on a giant shoulder and this nasty insect-looking creature is just looking right at you, right in your face, make sure your druid is with you. With all her pixie army, and make sure you add your proficiency bonus, guys.
Yeah!
Have a good night.
I love you, bye!
Bye, everybody.